just the program for football players. This is a program for engineers, future lawyers, doctors, teachers, etc. They can achieve here. We're very excited about the history of College of the Canyons. We've sent players to every major conference in the country, all the mid-majors. We've had Cougars participate in the NFL, but we're even more excited about the future.
Everybody from Cougar Stadium on the campus of College of the Canyons. I'm Barry McKeever along with Jesse Munoz. And tonight, the College of the Canyons Cougars ranked number 2 in the state of California, taking on the East LA Huskies. The East LA Huskies come into this game 3-3, but coming off a big win last week over Long Beach. 20-13 was that final. Meanwhile, the Cougars coming into this game 6-0, ranked number 2 in the state. They manhandled Moore Park Thursday before last, and this is ties their best record to start off at 6-0. But tonight, they've got their hands full against a Huskies team that is talent-laden, but they are young. Jesse Munoz joining us here, and Jesse, we haven't seen East LA here since 2011. Only 4 times the Huskies have taken on the Cougars. What do we expect from the Huskies tonight?
Well, first time in the division. They joined the national division last year. From all accounts, we expect a talented team, a team that's going to come out and get after it. A lot of skill players, spread the ball around. One thing Coach Iacinda's talked about is staying focused, staying, up to the task, coming in here not trying to look over any of these teams, but just getting back to work and doing what they do best.
And finally, let's talk about these Cougars at 6-0. Still the issue with Andrew Brito with the knee injury. He is going to be sidelined, but we're going to see the sophomore, again, Wyatt Egat, 6 feet, 195-pounder from West Ranch right here locally in Santa Clarita. And, Jesse, talk about Wyatt and how he has gotten better in his previous 2 starts.
I think night and day compared to his first start, and then seeing him last week. I had an opportunity to view that game from the sidelines. His confidence level looked improved. He looked confident, again, going with his receivers, knew the game plan, went out there and executed. So, another step forward hopefully for Wyatt, and we'll see what he can do out there.
The injury bug has hit every team in this time of season, and the Cougars really are not immune to that. Dunn is out at running back. We're not going to see him tonight. Also, Demarius August is out at wide receiver. All 3 knee injuries, including Brito. And unfortunately, you expect to see those this time of year. But one thing that we've seen this year from the Cougars is and we'll talk with Coach Iacinda in a little bit when we go down to the locker room. But, one thing we've seen from the Cougars this year that they haven't had maybe even since the early 2000s is the depth, where that guy's second and third string, there's not as much, and sometimes not any of a drop-off, and we just haven't had that the last several years.
That's absolutely right. I mean, it's been a next man up philosophy. Somebody goes down, and we've got that personnel to just go ahead and seamlessly step in and, go from there. It's going to be exciting to see how some of these new kids step up, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, there are so many names that you can't even single out a superstar or a leader, so to speak. So, again, next man up, competition breeds success, and I think that's the philosophy Coach Iacenda has here.
How many superlatives can we use for the COC defense? Number one in the state, giving up literally giving up a touchdown per game. And not only, Jesse, we can go down and talk about all the athletes and how good this team is, but when you watch them, you can see it's a noticeable difference. There is a talent level from this defense that really sets itself apart than we've seen in many years, even with all the incredible athletes that have come through COC in the last 10, 15 years. This group as a whole would probably likely be the best that we've seen in a while, right?
Definitely the best since my tenure. I mean, they are a lot of fun to watch. They feed off each other. They're excited to play. They come out and they execute. They know what they want to do, and to quote Coach Crater from a few games ago, we impose our will on them, and that's something that I think we're going to try and do here tonight.
They're going to go 5 deep across the middle. Even though they play 3 at a time, they're going to rotate them around. Spates, Ike, Jones. Ted Iacenda talks so much about KJ Latu as well and his growth this year. He's really, as this season has come about, he's even gotten better. The 2 Vuko brothers have done fantastic. And we haven't even gotten to Shadrick Lowry, who is one of the top defenders in the state of California. And he's not just a guy that plays well defense. He is a guy that comes up and supports the run like probably no other safety in the state of California.
Absolutely, and he is a leader on that field. I mean, you see him in the huddle. You see him after the plays. The players flock to him. They look to him for that leadership. From the front 7 back, the front 7, the back 4, just the rotation of defensive linemen they have in there, just the bodies that they can continue to throw out on the field and have an impact on this game. It's amazing. Like I said, a lot of fun to watch.
And then we haven't even talked again about the cornerbacks, Mills, Hunt, Taylor, Collier, literally 5 deep, 5 guys that can play pretty much anywhere. So you're going to see a lot of speed tonight, a lot of athleticism, a lot of great players on the defense for the College of the Canyons Cougars. Kickoff is coming up in less than 10 minutes. It's the COC Cougars, the number 2 ranked team in the state of California, taking on the East LA Huskies. We're going to go down. We're going to go down right now. Earlier we got a chance to go down the locker room and talk with head coach Ted Iacenda, and here's what he had to say about tonight's game.
What's up?
When do I know?
Go now. Go start now. Yeah.
Everything's going great since
What's up?
Next week with Ventura, but how do you make sure these guys are focused tonight?
Well, the good news for us is East LA is coming off a big win against Long Beach, which nobody expected. So it was a good chance for us to really refocus our boys and tell them, this is a team that's dangerous. Offensively, top to bottom, this is the most complete team we faced. They're dangerous at all the skill positions, and they've got a great offense where they wing it around. So, we're going to have our work cut out for us. We know that, and the boys know that. That message has been hammered home.
The defense is coming off an incredibly stifling performance against Moore Park a week and a half ago. What is the ceiling on this defense? Can they possibly get better, and what areas are you guys working on?
Well, I think the secret to our defensive play really has been our mantra that, we're just a bunch of hard hat guys, and we come to work every day, and we're not going to rest on our laurels. We're going to come and prepare, and we know if we don't play well, if we don't tackle well, if we don't execute, that any team can score on us. And as long as the boys stay focused like that, I think you're going to see a defense that gets better and better week in and week out.
Now, tonight you've got the Huskies and ELAC, and as you mentioned, they come off the big win against Long Beach City. Wyatt Egat, talk about his maturation and kind of how he's gotten better now that he stepped in from Andrew Brito. He doesn't look as nervous as he did the first week.
No question. Anytime you have a quarterback come over and take the reins midway through the season, you're going to look to get him comfortable in his new role as being the general of that offense. And, little things that we've seen Wyatt progress so far is, reading our RPOs and understanding when to give the ball, when to throw the ball. We've really seen him grasp some concepts in the pass game and make some nice progression reads, not just your first read, but going on to your second and your third progression and making those throws That's really where your offense is going to be successful, and he's starting to do that.
Number 2 in the state now, and I know you've talked about this, has the potential to be one of your best teams, if not your best team that you've had here. How do you make sure these guys stay focused week to week and don't get caught up in the rankings?
Well, if I had the answer to that, I'd probably be a millionaire. There's no doubt. The way we do it here is week in, week out. We hammer what got us to this place, and that's hard work. Our mantra is going to be nobody can outwork us on the field for those 60 minutes. We're not going to get tired. Discipline, less and less mistakes, and not making the same mistakes over and over again. We need to clean up some of our penalty issues. There's no doubt. I was a little disappointed against Moore Park last week. We kind of got pulled into their game. And so I'm going to look for us to be a little more mature and learn from those things. And I really do like this group. There's no question. I think that the ceiling is very high with this group.
Coach, you've had what you expect injuries about this time of season, but you've also had guys come in that maybe in the past where it's been a step down. There's several positions where you've lost a guy and another guy's come in and you haven't lost. There's been no drop off. How key has that been to your success this year, and how key is it going to be moving forward?
No question. The competition day in, day out at our practices is phenomenal. And that really is what has driven us to this success. The ability to say, all right, young man, you're not performing up to the standards we like at this practice. We're going to put number 2 in, and there is no drop-off. So you can't be comfortable. You have to come to practice and work, and you have to get better, and you have to be coachable. Because if not, that guy behind you is very good as well. And, it's done a lot for us. It's helped us be this successful. There's no question about it.
Change the intensity and that dynamic of that practice, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%. Competition breeds success.
Finally, Coach, tonight, what do you expect your team, or what do you hope that your team comes away with? And I know they're obviously the victory, but really what is the one thing you want to see from the Cougars tonight against East LA?
Well, I'd like for us to come out fast. There's no doubt about it. I think that this team right here is going to be hot. They come off a big win against Long Beach City, and I would like to see us take the wind out of our sails right out the gates. Execute, put that game away in the first quarter, and get on top of them defensively, and maybe take their will away from them.
Awesome. Good luck tonight, Coach. Appreciate
Thank you very much.
Hey, Coach Ted Iasana, College of the Canyons tonight taking on East LA College. It's coming up right here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Kickoff is next. Stay tuned.
And that was earlier with Ted Iasenda down in the locker room. And we are just moments away from kickoff here at beautiful Cougar Stadium on the campus of College of the Canyons. Jesse Munoz along with Barry McKeever. Good to have you guys with us. Emery Johnson is our director tonight. And Jesse, 79 degrees here in California, not a cloud in the sky. Perfect night for football. No breeze, no nothing. This is Southern California JUCO football.
This is what we pay for living in Southern California, and it's going to be another beautiful night here at Cougar Stadium. I know the fans are excited to be here. The players all week have been hyped to get back at home. Let's go out and play some football, Barry.
All right, get your friends, get your neighbors, tell your friends. We are coming live from Santa Clarita, California, the number 2 team in the state of California, the College of the Canyons Cougars versus East LA College. Coming up next on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
We're looking for young men who are selfless, who want to be great teammates as well as great players. Our strength and conditioning program is second to none. I would place what we do in the off-season up against any off-season program at any level. Our goal is to move these student athletes on, but have them excel when they get to where they're going. Creating that culture is paramount to our success here at College of the Canyons, and you have to have the student athletes that aren't afraid of competition in order to achieve that. This is not just a program for football players. This is a program for engineers, future lawyers, doctors, teachers, etc. They can achieve here. We're very excited about the history of College of the Canyons. We've sent players to every major conference in the country, all the mid-majors. We've had Cougars participate in the NFL, but we're even more excited about the future.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our live stream broadcast on SoCalCollegeSports.com. I'm Barry McKeever, along with Jesse Munoz, our director tonight, Emery Johnson, as the number 2 team in the state of California. The College of the Canyons Cougars put their undefeated record on the line at 6-0, taking on the 3-3 East LA College Huskies. And Jesse Munoz, Sports Information Director here at College of the Canyons. As this team has mounted and gone to 6-0 and now starting to get a lot of notoriety, talk to us about, from a Sports Information Director standpoint, you're starting to get media requests that are coming in all the time, especially from kids from out of state. Talk to us about how that's affecting the program and kind of things that are going on.
Definitely a positive. We've definitely seen some increased interest. We've had not only our live stream, but live streams from the other schools back-to-back weeks. The offers are coming in. We're getting kids looked at, and that's the whole goal of this program. Get them in, get them out, get their education secured.
Talk about the numbers that College of the Canyons have sent to the next level, and then the next level, the ultimate level, of course, the NFL.
Every year, year in and year out, we send kids. I believe we had 18 last year went on to play at the 4-year level. Currently, 3 of our alumni in the NFL, Domata Petco at Denver Broncos, Jason Pierre-Paul in Tampa Bay, and Tim White, local kid, Hart High School. Played a couple games with the Ravens this year. Moved back to the practice squad last week, but still with the franchise and we love to follow him.
What a great kid, Tim White, going to Arizona State after coming through here, both, of course, locally here in Santa Clarita, played at Hart High School, went on to ASU, and then, as you mentioned, with Baltimore. And he's a guy that nobody outworks Tim White. I mean, he may not have the most talent, but not that he doesn't have talent, don't get me wrong, but he is just a special, special kid and athlete. Well, we're set to kick underway. It's a short kick taken by one of the up men, and I think that's Latu, KJ Latu, up to the 30-yard line, and the big boy's going to get it up to the 31. It's going to be an 11-yard. Actually, they're going to give him to the 32, so it's going to be an 11-yard return for KJ Latu and the Cougars. The Cougar offense going to set up shop there on their own 32-yard line. Across the front, you're going to look for Spates. Also, we're going to see Killian tonight, Caldwell, Sutler, Murphy, and Jordan Palmer has been that mainstay up front. The 6'1", 320-pounder out of Notre Dame, just a freshman, number 74. He will anchor that line at the center position. Of course, Wyatt Egett is the starter at quarterback. First play from scrimmage, plenty of time for Egett. He wants it all going deep. He's got a man wide open. Walking into the end zone, touchdown Cougars.
Wow, no doubt about it. Found him open, streaking down the sideline, and just connected. Boom. Cougars up 6-0.
68 yards, and that is, I think it's Brandon Pierce, right, Jesse?
It's Brandon Pierce just beat his man and was wide open. He must have been waving to Wyatt. Good start. Healthy field position, and we punched it in right away. So let's look for more of that.
I'll tell you what, he was wide open. He used that speed to get behind the secondary, and nobody was there. One play, 68 yards, and the Cougars on the board, 6-0. The point after is up, and it is good. So just like that, one play, one touchdown, 7-0. Cougars up with 14:46 left in the first. And we've talked about how dynamic this defense is, but, we don't talk a lot about those wide receivers, but, man, that just shows you the incredible speed and the athleticism that's on the point. But how perfect was that pass by Wyatt Egett? Hit him in stride. Pierce didn't even have to break stride at all.
No, absolutely. Egett looks dialed in. Pierce leading the team in touchdowns, puts another one on his resume. Let's go Cougars.
So 7-0 with the early bomb. And, man, that was a perfect pass by Wyatt Egett. Jesse, the funny thing is that my trivia question, or the trivia, it's not even a question, the trivia statement, and I don't know if you've ever heard of this happening. The last 3 games that have been played here at Cougar Stadium by 3 different teams, the JV team from West Ranch last night, the varsity West Ranch and played hard, and then tonight the Cougars, all 3 games, do you know what they have in common?
Scored on the first play?
No, the starting quarterback's last name is Egett.
You got me on that one.
Walker, Weston, and Wyatt. 3 consecutive games, 3 different teams. The brothers all starting here. The Egett family setting up shop here at Cougar Stadium.
Strong lineage of quarterbacks in that family.
And they are happy now. The kick taken, it's dropped at the 5-yard line, and not going to even get out to the 15. The return there was, I think it was a Garrow. But no, actually, check it. That is actually Terrell Robinson. Robinson, 6'4", 195-pounder. And, the thing about Robinson, he started as a wide receiver this year, 6'4", 195 pounds. They've moved into the defensive line, and he's really just thriving there. But he's still – so he runs back kickoffs. And he had a 100-yarder this year. How often do you have a defensive end that's running back kickoffs?
That's a very interesting transition. I'm looking forward to seeing him on defense. We didn't get to last drive, but I'm sure he'll pop up there somewhere.
So our first look at the Husky offense and the starting quarterback. We're going to see 3 of them tonight. Miguel Aguero will start things off. Aguero out of Shure High School. 5'9", 170-pound freshman is going to hand it off straight up the middle and stuffed at maybe the 16-yard line to get a couple. Cougars on defense. We mentioned those guys up front. Easter, you're going to see Easter, Ramirez, Peoples, as well as Morrison and Fainga. Those are your 5 linemen. Obviously, only 3 can play at a time, but they're going to use them all. Look at this formation. Double trips to each side. They go the hitch on the right side, and a big hit coming up was Lowry. And Gets across to the 20, maybe 21-yard line. They're going to be about 3 yards shy of a first down.
Huskies trying to hurry it up there, but Shadrick was ready for him.
So we're kind of seeing this. This is the old Utah formation, almost like this swinging gate kind of formation, where they bring the tackles out wide of the numbers, and they run the same hitch to the right side, and coming up and actually knocked out of after the first down gain. He got past Lowry on the far side. Coming over to make the tackle was, I think that was finally Tony Harris that came over there. So the first down moves it up to the 31-yard line, and here comes the tempo for East LA, again in that same formation with the tackles wide out right, and they're going to run the same exact play. That's make you stop at it. Finally, Tariq Spates said, I've had enough of it. I know what you're running. And Spates with a big hit.
Interesting. You wonder if the Huskies saw something on film they're trying to exploit with that. So far, they're inching up, but not a big play yet.
Tredius Thomas on the reception for East LA. 2-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd and 8 for the Huskies. Inside handoff and hit it, dropped after maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain, but boy, the big boys up front doing some damage there. That was Tofa Fa'inga'a. Am I saying that right, Jesse?
I believe so.
So it's a 1 yard pickup up to the 34, so it's going to be 3rd and 7 here. And this is exactly where the Cougar defense wants. We'll see where they come after them. They've been able to get pressure on most teams with only rushing 4. And it looks like they're going to bring 4 here. Triple receivers to the right, double receivers to the left. Back to pass. Aguero goes to the near sideline. He's got a man open, and enough for the first down across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Coming over to make the play was Davis.
QB pressure just a step away. Had to force that out a little bit early, but he was able to find his man.
So another first down for East LA. They've obviously come out with a prescription that they think they can move the ball on this defense, something that very few offenses on the Cougars schedule have done. 1st and 10 from their own 46. Hand off to the right side, cutting back up to the middle and stopped. And another good play up front. This tackle time made by Gio Ramirez. Ramirez Allen, sorry about that.
Mainstay from last year, an anchor on this defensive line. Does a lot of good things out there.
So Allen now is going to move to the right side. They're going to go with an empty back set. Quads over to the left side. Just a 1 yard pickup, 2nd and 9. 11:33 left in the first. Cougars up 7-0. Scored on one play, their first play from scrimmage. Aguero goes downfield, almost intercepted, and then finally coming up, or almost coming up with it, but falling incomplete. It was intended for Mungia, and I think that was Davis who had a shot at that pick there, Jesse. But nonetheless, it ends up incomplete, and again, it sets up a 3rd and long here.
3rd and 9. Cougars looking to get off the field, bring Egan and company back out here. Let's see what we can do.
So triple receivers to the near side, 3rd and 9. Cougars kind of showing blitz. Here comes Spates up the middle. They're coming after him and stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. And a huge tackle there made by Tony Harris. That was Check it. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong. I think that was Tyler Richardson.
Tyler Richardson. There we go.
Looked at the wrong roster. Don't tell anybody, Jesse. Tyler Richardson. And Richardson just stuffed him in the inside. We saw Spates coming up the middle there. And Richardson forced him into Richardson. It's a 2-yard loss. That's a 4th and 11. And we're going to see Quintero to punt it away for the Huskies. And it's a high kick, but it's a short one. And we're going to let it bounce inside the 20. So Rashawn Rowland is just going to let it go, and that's where it's going to finally get down right at the 20-yard line. So the Cougars going to start there.
Back to our point on defense, you see there's seemingly a new guy every play stepping up and making the stop, whether it be a hurry, a pass deflection, or the big tackle. There's just so many names on this defense, you can barely keep track of them all.
So we've only seen the Cougar offense on one play, and it was an effective one, a 68-yard touchdown pass. And we didn't even get to go through the starting lineups. Forrest Carter is going to be starting in at running back. Tied in right for Egan. Back to pass. Pumps once. Now he's going to run and fakes it again. He's going to get tripped up around the 23-yard line.
Looked like he wanted to go deep again, just wasn't there. Took what he can get.
Looking downfield for, I think, Pierce, maybe Jaron Pierce was right around the 45-yard line. Had him open for a bit, but wise choice there, not throwing it in. There was a safety coming over. So the 4-yard pickup on the scramble by Egan sets up a 2nd and 6 for the Cougars. Again, tied left this time. Back to pass under pressure. He steps up. Egan wants it deep. He's got a man there. Did he catch it?
I think he came down.
I don't believe he did. It looked. Oh, now they're saying
waving him off.
incomplete.
That was intended for Leroy DeShazer.
DeShazer had it there, but then it looked like it got tipped away at the end there.
DeShazer, another player that's starting to emerge. You know, the Pierce boys tend to get a lot of the headlines, but DeShazer's a solid receiver. Made some plays last week, returned some punts. Good to see him back out there tonight.
Yeah, he had that, and then he came over and got it knocked out of his hands right at the last minute. 3rd and 6. Egan back to pass, wants the out, and then near sideline. DeShazer again can't hang on to it.
Went right back to his man, just couldn't connect.
It was a good throw by Egan. Threw it on his outside, so the defender couldn't get it. And I bet you DeShazer would say, hey, I got to make that catch. So the incompletion sets up 4th down, and first time we'll see the punting unit for the Cougars. Tanner Brown on to kick it away. Setting up shop at his own 11. Set to receive back for the Huskies is Cleo Session.
Tanner Brown doing it all on special teams, punts, kickoffs, PATs, field goals.
Brown with a nice kick. This one's a high, lot of hang time, and he's going to let it bounce. Going to take a sideways bounce. Actually, now it's going to bounce back, take a little bit of a Husky bounce to about midfield, and that's where it's going to be touched up right there. So
we'll see what the Cougars do here. I mean, that's healthy field position for East LA. They were able to move the ball a little bit the last drive. Look for Canyons to clamp down here.
Just a 26-yard punt for Tanner Brown, not one of his better punts. So 9:33 left here in the first quarter. If you just joined us, the Cougars scored on a 68-yard touchdown pass from Egan to Pierce on the first play of the game, first offensive play of the game. So here come the Huskies. Brown off to the right side, and they'll throw to the near side. It's tipped. And I think they're going to call it an incomplete pass. And, again, that was Richardson in there. Man, he's been all over the place tonight. Tyler Richardson.
Up in the mix, playing some inspired football tonight.
Richardson, the Paraclete Spirit from Lancaster. All 6'2", 245 pounds of him, just a freshman. And we talk about how deep this team is. A lot of options for Coach Ted Iacinta at linebacker. Handoff trying the left side and stuffed in the backfield for loss. All the way back to the 46-yard line. Trey Easter, the sophomore, 6 foot, 240 pounds, and the 4-yard loss back to the 46-yard line, and Easter was all over that one.
Easter representing Concordville out in Pennsylvania. Had a big game last week against Moore Park. Looks like more of the same here tonight.
So the Cougar defense trying to stop 3rd and 14, movement across the line, and it's going to be a free play for the Huskies. Throw to the near sideline, incomplete. So they're going to redo this one. And it looked like Easter jumped off sides there. Also up front, I think those Peoples maybe might have jumped a little bit as well.
Coming off the big play, maybe was just a little too excited to get back there again.
That's one of those where defensive coach goes, how do you jump off sides? You're literally on top of the football. But so it sets up 3rd and 9 now. They're inside Cougar territory at the 49-yard line. First time the Huskies have been in Cougar territory. Clock stopped with 8:49 left in the first. Here comes the rush off the edge. Aguero's got to get away, or got to throw it away, I should say. He finally does, but a lot of pressure coming off the edge there for the Cougars, and Too much pressure.
Looked like Charles Ike was just a step away. Again, forced that early throw.
Also, Johnny Morrison pressuring from his in spot and sets up another punting, I'm going to say opportunity, but forces a punt for East LA.
Rayshawn Rowland back deep. Look out for him. He's got some game-breaking speed, does a lot of good things out on the defensive side. Haven't seen him return too many punts, so I'm anxious to see what he can do here. Ooh.
And I looked like he was going to block it, but he actually gets it away.
That was Earl English on there. He actually blocked one last week, almost got to it here again.
I don't know how English missed that. Look, I think he might have run by it.
Definitely making his contributions here on special teams.
He did. He actually ran by the ball and went under his shoulder there. The former Coyote from Calabasas. English, as you mentioned, you had that block last week. Well, I guess week before, the last 10 days ago, We always say last week. So the Cougars are going to start inside their own 20, first and 10 at the 18.
We'll see if Egan looks to go deep here. He has on first down the last 2 drives.
Hand off to Carter, and he breaks a tackle in the backfield, gets it up around the 20-yard line, a gain of a couple. And our first look at Forrest Carter, and we're going to see quite a bit of running backs tonight from the Cougars.
Forrest Carter is a kid that runs hard, starting to get some more carries. Of course, we come in primarily as a passing team, but we like to keep the teams honest, so we'll see some action out of the backfield.
And flags on the field. We'll see whether they get the Cougars for a false start. Well, actually, we're going to get an encroachment penalty, so this offsides is going to go against East LA. And it's going to set up a second and short. These are one of those opportunistic downs where, you've got second and a short 2 and able to maybe take a look down deep here for Egan.
Take the free 5 yards. Let's see if we can convert here.
Trying to get him to jump again. They're blitzing, throwing it up for grabs. That's Eby and tries to one-hand it, can't get it. And the incomplete passes look like, again, he had East LA jumping off sides.
Like the thought process, got it out of his hands quick, had a man down the sideline. Just didn't work out, but it looks like we may have a fresh set of downs here anyway.
So the offsides against the Huskies. On first and 10, Egan rolling to his left, throws downfield, has a man open at the 40-yard line, breaks a tackle, 45, and dropped there. And that was DeShazer again. And we're seeing, without Demarius August, we're seeing a heavy dose of Leroy DeShazer tonight.
Stepping in and filling in that role that Demarius had. Demarius had a big game last week, so we'll see what Leroy can do.
So a fresh set of downs on the 13-yard pickup, first and 10 for the Cougars. Looking to get the call from the sidelines, trips to the right for Egan. Here comes the blitz again. Egan running away from it, got to get rid of it, he throws it away. Good move by the sophomore.
Backside pressure from Garrett Rogers, linebacker out of Chino.
There is a flag in the interior line. This could be one of those holding penalties.
Still waiting for a determination here.
Clock stop with 7:12 left in the first. Still 7-0 lead for College of the Canyons.
We're backing up, so I think you're right, Barry.
It is going to be a holding penalty. So the holding call is going to go against the Cougars. And that will be a spot foul, so it's going to come back probably inside the 30-yard line.
Number 70, Nicholas Harmon, out of Saugus High School. One of our captains, having a great season. Just got caught with one there.
So the holding penalty brings it, only back to the 35. Thought I saw that flag inside the 40, so Not too bad. It's actually 1st and 20 since it is. They'll take it back. See, it was from the line of scrimmage. Here comes the blitz again. Egan can't get rid of it. He throws it away. And I'll tell you what, we kind of figured out what the Huskies are doing tonight. They're just bringing the house. And 3 plays in a row, they've blitzed probably at least the front 7, Jesse.
Well, and I think that was our first look at Terrell Robinson, the wide receiver converted to D end. Has a quick first step, was right in Egan's face.
Junpai Dabashi coming in for the first time at slot. He's going to line up to the left of Egan with an empty backfield set here. 2nd and 20. East LA just rushing 3. They go with the hits the left side across the 40, 45, and still on his feet. DeShazer inside Husky territory and a first down all the way down to the 44-yard line. A 21-yard pickup.
Nice gain. Got the ball, made a move, and hit his burst.
And look right here. There's the big miss right there, and it looks like, man, that DB just kind of almost going headhunting there, and DeShazer just absorbed the blow, spun around, and got the first down. Quickly back to the ball. Shotgun again, play action pass. Egan looking downfield, and he's got his receiver, Eby, again, and a nice grab up near the 31-yard line. They're going to call him out at the 32, a pickup of 12, and another first down. And talk about Eby, and man, he's, Ted Hyacinth can't say enough nice things about this kid. He's really, really maturing right before our eyes.
Big, long, strong target. Looked like Egan wanted to go across the middle, then saw his man down the sideline. That works for us. First down, Cougars.
1st and 10 for the Cougars at the 32. Another offsides penalty and free play for the Cougars, trying to get it, just throwing it up for grabs, let Eby get a chance, and it's incomplete. Wyatt Egan, 4 of 7, 114 yards. He does have that 1 touchdown. That won't go against him because of the penalty. So the 5 yards going to put it inside the 30, down to the 27-yard line. Cougars ranked number 2 in the state, behind Fullerton. Of course, Coach Hyacinth doesn't want to talk about it, but looming big on the schedule next Saturday. We'll talk about that in a bit, Jesse. Going deep, Egan goes to the end zone. He's got a man there, caught in the back. And let's see, did he hold on to it? Yes, touchdown Cougars. Jaron Pierce with a big play. And, man, I'll tell you what, Wyatt Egan looks like a totally different quarterback than we saw just a couple weeks ago here at Cougar Stadium.
The kid can spin it. That's no doubt about that. You see here on the replay, finds his man.
Look at that post corner, threw it in the back of the end zone, and then just let Pierce go up and get it.
Jaron Pierce showing his athleticism there. Came down with another big touchdown.
So Brown's going to get the hold from Junpai Dabashi, and the hold, the kick is good, and the Cougars up 14-0 with 5:55 left in the first quarter, and the number 2 team in the state of California is rolling. We'll go back with more. You're watching live action of the College of the Canyons Cougars on SoCalCollegeSports.com. So 2 long pass plays for the Cougars, one 68 yards, that last one 27 yards for the touchdown. And Brandon Pierce gets one, Jaron Pierce gets the other. Again, want to remind you, they went to the same high school together. They're the same age. They think they're faster than the other, and they are not related. But Wyatt Egan, 5 of 8 so far, 141 yards and 2 touchdowns already tonight. The high kick by Brown, taken at the 8-yard line, up across the 20 and dropped there. And that is your defensive end running that back, again, Robinson. So East LA will start at their own 24-yard line.
Good start here for the Cougars. Don't want to get too excited. I mean, East LA still got a lot of weapons out there. We'll see what they can put together here on this drive. But Coach Corbett's defense looking good. Let's keep it up.
Want to thank our sponsors of Cougars football, AV Equipment Rentals. AV Equipment Rentals has the right tool to do the job right on Railroad Avenue. They've also got propane for your barbecue and no minimum quantities to buy. So 5:49 left here in the first. Also Salt Creek Grill, best Sunday brunch in town. Shotgun again for Aguero. Back to pass, throws right side. Has a man out of the backfield, hit hard, out of bounds at the 30. And Chadwick Lowry got there fast. Talk about closing speed, huh?
Looked like a missile out there. Just exploded into the runner. Took him out, setting up 2nd and 6.
Quickly to the ball. They go to that double gate, swinging gate formation, and Lowry again, a lot to over there as well. May have gotten a yard.
Seems to be licking his chops every time they come around the corner there. He's been there to meet the man every time.
And we almost didn't notice it, but Philip Tran is in there. First time we've seen Tran tonight. He's from Archbishop Mitty High School out of San Jose, 6'2", 220-pounder. He's a sophomore. First time we've seen him tonight for the Huskies. And Tran is going to have to scramble, and the Cougars are going to stop him. And a big hit there by the Cougars. Actually coming up and making the hard hit was Johns, Caleb Johns, 6'1", 235-pounder out of Antelope Valley, just a freshman. And again, the Cougars forcing a punt here.
3 and out. East LA didn't find much success with the new QB. I guess they'll go back to the drawing board and see what else they got.
Total of 39 yards, total offense for the Huskies here in the first quarter. Cougars, meanwhile, have 149. And Roland is going to take it out of bounds near the 30, what are they called, 38 maybe there. Just a little bit of a run back. And now, you know, the Cougars weren't sure what to expect today. I mean, they weren't going to take East LA lightly. But I tell you what, Jesse, they've come out and they're not going through the motions here. They are focused and they are intense. And that's something you can say about this team. Every game this year, they haven't come out lackluster at all.
You know, that's a result of good coaching. They preach, I know our staff preaches day in and day out. We take every opponent seriously. We're not going to look past anybody. You practice hard all week. You come out and execute on Saturday nights and let those results speak for themselves.
First look at Miles Anderson, and Anderson gets popped and falls back, gets up to the 44-yard line, so he's going to pick up 6 yards. That's going to be 2nd and 4. So we'll see Anderson tonight. We'll also see Kenny Torrance, I'm assuming, before the night's over. We open things with Forrest Carter. Caden Dunn still out with an knee injury. Coach expects him back next week. Pistol formation, handoff again to Anderson trying the right side. He's going to get a couple yards up across the 45. Still shy of the first down, so they're going to need about 2 yards there.
Manageable 3rd down, and this is exactly what the Cougars' game plan is. You come out, you establish the pass, go back to the run, keep them on their toes, just keep moving down the field.
Quickly to the ball. Egan out of the shotgun, a movement on the right side, and it's going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Cougars.
I guess penalty is the one thing you can't game plan for. You'd like to try and eliminate those. Talked to Coach Iacenda. He said last week they had a few too many for his liking. Try and clean it up here.
Sadler moving on that one. Sadler from Cleveland High School getting his first start of the season tonight. 6'2", 288-pound freshman running at the right guard spot. So 3rd and 7 now for the Cougars. Here comes the blitz right up the middle. Egan's running for his life, looking downfield. Has a man, and it's Eby. I think he made the catch. He's going to be shy of the first down, though. It gets it up near the 44, 45-yard line. He needed to get to the 48. So Tanner Brown and the punting unit on to kick it away.
It's Terrell Robinson again on the pressure. I mean, obviously you see he's got that wide receiver speed and that quick first step, causing some disruption back there.
Don't forget Chick-fil-A in the Valencia Town Center is now open Monday through Saturday, I should say, till 11 o'clock at night. Open that extra hour till 11 p.m. Get your Chick-fil-A fix. Brown's going to kick it away here, and I think we've got returning that is Session, and Brown just barely gets it away. And it's going to be a short one up let's see where it went out of bounds, and they're still marking it up past the 30, 35. It's going to be at the 35-yard line. So Tanner Brown not having much luck tonight with the kicking game.
To his credit, though, good job handling that snap. He had to adjust a little bit towards it, and the pressure was right there.
I also want to thank our friends at Consumers Furniture. They still have their big anniversary sale going on this weekend, 20% off everything in the store. They're in the Centerpoint Shopping Center just down the street from Sam's Club and Super Walmart. Consumers Furniture, locally owned and operated, voted best furniture store in the Santa Cruz Valley for 7 years running. So we'll see if Tran is in there. Look at that fly sweep. First time we've seen that to the near side. And look at the speed of those Cougars. I mean, there's just nothing there, and they're all over the place. And that was that Latu again?
That was KJ Latu stepping up, making the stop. But like you said, Barry, if it wasn't Latu, there was a guy right behind him to be there.
So forgive me, Mr. and Mrs. Latu. I said Latu. It is Latu. Thank you for the correction, Jesse. But Ted Isena can't say enough nice things about him. He's really worked hard this year. Hand off to the right side, and we've got a flag down, but it's going to be the first down up across the 47-yard line.
Name we've said a few times already tonight, Shadrick Lowry coming up with another big hit.
And the Huskies have an injured player down. That is Nobriga. Camanza Nobriga, the freshman. Oh, check it. I'm sorry. That's Dixon Swale. So we've got to, while they're attending the injury, we'll see what that penalty is. And chop block. So it's going to come back. And that's going to be a big one against the Huskies. They had a first down up across the 47-yard line, so it's going to come back. They help Swale, I think that's how you say it, Swale, to the far sideline. So the ball comes all the way back to the 22-yard line.
Let's see if Coach Corbett dials up some pressure here. You obviously have support on your back four. Like to kind of force the issue, see if we can't cause some disruption back there.
Which, not sure why it's at the 22. I thought it was a 15-yard penalty, which would bring it to the 21, right? So it's 2nd and 24. They're replaying the down. Oh, they got 1 yard on first down. That's what it was. So 2nd and 24 for the Huskies. Empty set again. 3 receivers to the right. 3 receivers to the left. Pass near sideline, catches made, and out of bounds, shoved out of bounds on the near side by Wills. It was caught there by Presley, DeMonte Presley from Atlanta, Georgia. Quickly to the ball. The ball comes up to the 30. They've got to get to the 46. So third, and checking it's at the 35, so 3rd and 11. Pass, same play to the near sideline, and this time overthrows intended for Presley again, and pass goes incomplete, and it's going to be 4th and 11 again, the punt unit. Want to thank our friends at Sage Staffing coming on board. You know, Greg, I'm sure you're very well aware of Greg Kincaid and the guys at Sage Staffing. Kincaid, a former Cougar himself.
Had a lot of great staff provided by Sage over at the college, so good to have them on board this season.
And we've got whistle on the field and flags on the far side. And movement on the offense, going to move it back. Another chance for Rayshawn Rowland to return this. Rowland from Arcadia High School. He's got to move up to his own 35-yard line. Quintero set to punt for the Huskies. 1:36 left in the first. And this is a booming kick, high one. Rowland's going to not call for a fair catch and take it. Makes a man miss to the 40, 45. Another man miss, still dancing around up across midfield and finally dragged from behind to the 44-yard line.
That's kind of what you expect from Rayshawn Rowland. He had a pick 6 in week 2 against Grossmont. Showed some of his wheels. Obviously, he's got some moves out there. Good move by Coach Isena putting him back there returning punts.
So Rayshawn Rowland with a nice move makes the first man miss. That's the key one. Then gets upfield, another one. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. And then finally gets brought down from behind down to the 44-yard line.
Best starting position so far tonight for the Cougs. Let's see what they can do.
Action to call him down to the 43. So 1st and 10 for the Cougar offense. Egan sends triple receivers to the right. Anderson is the setback. Offset to the right side. Hard count. Trying to see if the Huskies are going to show blitz. They've been blitzing a lot tonight. So now the play called. Egan takes the snap, drops the handoff, and now he's going to throw downfield. And he's got a man, Pierce, across the 40 to the 38-yard line. And not sure, I think that was supposed to be an RPO or something, Jesse, but nonetheless it ends up being a three-yard gain for the Cougars.
I think he might have checked out of it. Watching Jordan Palmer at center, it looked like he spotted something, and they got what they got out of it. Here we go, 2nd and 7.
They flip the formation now. And there's your offsides. That hard count is just killing them tonight as the Huskies are not able to reel it in.
East LA can't get out of their own way in terms of those penalties. Short 5 yards at a time, we'll take it.
Ooh, I didn't see any movement on that one.
Went the other way. I spoke too soon.
So 4th penalty for the Cougars tonight, 20 yards. So all of them been 5-yarders. 5 penalties for 35 yards for East LA. So back out to the 44-yard line, 2nd and 12 for Wyatt Egan and the Cougars. Here comes the blitz again. Steps up in the pockets, got to get rid of it. He does. What a catch by Jaron Pierce. And down, pushed out of bounds of the 35-yard line.
One-handed catch, used the other hand to stiff arm his man, get a few extra yards. Just another great example of the athleticism by Jaron Pierce.
9-yard pickup, and look at that one-handed lefty right there, and Jaron Pierce.
Oh, he's bouncing around. He's happy about that one.
And then the stiff arm right him out of bounds. Jaron Pierce makes any of the quarterback look good. I mean, no offense to Wyatt and Andrew, but man.
He's a heck of an athlete. Led the state in receiving yards per game earlier this year.
Come out with a tight end right this time. Back to pass. He got under a lot of pressure. Gets it to Anderson out of the backfield. He's got the first down. Inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And a 6-yard pickup. They needed 3, and they moved the chains again for the Cougars. That is the 7th first down of the night for the Cougars. Over 170 total yards on offense. And we wind down to the first quarter. So after the first quarter, it has been all Cougars, 14-0, and they're threatening again. Wyatt Egan and the offense looking good, and the defense stifling the Huskies. We'll come back with more in the second quarter coming up. COC 14, still a nothing here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. First play of the second quarter, Brandon Pierce on the near side, and he's up across the 25 down to the 23-yard line. So the 6-yard pickup sets up 2nd and 4. First play of the second quarter. And, Jesse, that first quarter, obviously all Cougars, and they lead on the board 14-0 and lead on the stat sheet as well.
Looking to punch another one in here. I mean, just a few yards out of the end zone. We came in 73% from the red zone. terms
Here
of
comes the
efficiency.
blitz, hand off to Anderson. He tries to bounce it out and does. Oh, he runs over the defender at the 18-yard line. Put the punishing hit on Collins. And there is a flag. You see the flag down there on the 28-yard line. And it's going to be a holding. It's going to come back. But look at the punishment. Miles Anderson delivers on Collins.
That's the type of run that'll bring a big reaction from your sideline, get the offense pumped up again.
So the 10-yard penalty brings it back out to the 33-yard line. It's going to set up a 2nd and 14 for the Cougars. Are you surprised that the Cougars are really pushing the pace here, or is this something that we're setting up maybe for next week?
No, not at all. I think you want to get up, you want to maintain control of the game, and then take it from there.
They fake the hitch, now go to the screen, left side, and down to the 20, the 15, and finally brought down there. That is Valencia's own Tim Wiggins. First time we've called his name tonight. First time we've seen him in the game, Jesse.
Tim Wiggins, though, makes some big plays. You know, doesn't get the volume of passes that the Pierces or the DeShazers will, but he'll make some big plays for you.
Down to the 14-yard line and a first down on the 2nd and long. So 1st and 10 for the Cougars at the 14 of East LA, trying to add to their 14-0 lead. Here's the pressure again. Egan off his back foot, and is it a catch? Yes, it is. Looks like it's a catch, and the catch first one of the night by Vandenberg, right?
Dante Vandenberg out of Mount Pleasant, Iowa, coming up with the big catch there.
We've seen Vandenberg in there. They've been running that tight end formation more than we've seen this season as well. And Jesse, you wonder if coaches maybe given the Pirates something to look at. You think a couple different looks we've seen tonight, quite a few tight end sets. The tight end comes in the near sideline, so now it's 3 wideouts to the left. Here comes the blitz again. And it's going to be a keeper right side walking into the end zone. High step and a touchdown, Cougars.
Wyatt Egan scampers in there. Back to your point, Barry, I mean, yeah, you bring in the tight end, you give him a little bit of a different look. If nothing else, it's something for Ventura to have to consider and maybe for East LA to make an adjustment on.
Well, I tell you what, so far in this first half, 20-0 here. It's been all Cougars, and we talk a lot about the defense, but tonight this offense has been hitting on all cylinders.
Absolutely, and like I said, that's the game plan. Get in, get up, maintain the tempo of the game, dictate what we want to do, take it into the second half, and we'll see. Tanner
Brown, one of the leaders in the scoring in the state, who's going to kick it up again. He's 3 for 3, point after. So 13:20 left in the first half. It's all Cougars, 21-0 over East LA College. I want to thank Vista Canyon for sponsoring us here at COC and the Cougar football and Vista Canyon. An incredible development going on over on the east side of town. If you haven't checked that one out, there's some amazing things between the mixed-use retail. There's some incredible shops and restaurants going to be going in there. Vista Canyon already up and going. So 13:20 left in the first half. Jesse, how long do we see Wyatt Egan, and when do we start seeing Michael Wilson? Is it too early to talk about that? Or, this one, I don't want to say it's a blowout, but it's well in hand at this point. And what point do you start thinking about bringing in Wilson?
You know, I think last week it was around the third quarter. Wilson got in, got some important reps. For now, I think it's foot on the gas pedal. Let's try and get some more points. Make sure there's no doubt before we start subbing out our guys.
So Brown's going to tee it up. Mr. Robinson set to receive, standing at his own goal line. And the kick is a wobbly one. I think that's going to go out of bounds, and it does. So we'll see if East LA takes it out at their own 35. More than likely they would.
That would certainly help the Husky effort here. I'm sure they'll take any yards they can get.
Wyatt Egan already 12. Look at how efficient he is. 12 of 15, 189 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's already completed passes to, 2, 4, 6, 7 different receivers.
Spreading the ball around, That young man came to play today. You can tell he looked focused all week during practice, had his game face on here tonight, making the most of his opportunity.
Defense holding East LA to under 50 yards total offense here in the first half. Huskies only have 48 yards. Tran back in at quarterback, empty set. Now brings a man in motion. They'll run that fly sweep. Actually, Tran's going to keep it himself, and that was a wise move because they were sniffing that one. Charles Ike coming up and making the play. Tran gets 6. But do you see, I think that was Richardson again coming up there and wanted that play. Tyler Richardson was sniffing that one out, right?
Well, I got excited, about to jump up for an exclamation for a big play, but snuck past him there.
Tran with a nice read. Again, empty back set. Sends a man in motion, and now he's going to try to hand off to the right side and stuffed in the backfield. And again, all the Cougars there. Tariq Spates was in there, also coming in and making that play was Williams, Brennan Williams. Gosh, they're so deep, this defense, Jesse. 3rd and 8, quickly to the ball.
Oh.
And now movement on the right side, so that's he's the right tackle sits there and points at the defensive end. It's like, no, dude, you moved. Okay, it doesn't matter if the defense moves.
Back to your point, Barry, absolutely a team effort. I mean, there's many games when I go to write the recap where I ask the coaches, who was your standout on defense? And you can't give one name. It's just a solid rotation of guys coming in there, making plays, working hard.
And that's a big kid down there. That is Victor Eddy from Hawaii, 6'5", 290-pound freshman at the right tackle spot. And, boy, he's got all he can handle tonight. Tran, as he throws it, gets hammered by the Cougar defense. And
big hit by Tariq Spates. Number 32 just came in and exploded onto him.
Easter was in there as well. Spates blitzing from the inside, so they backed off the outside linebacker. Spates came for the inside. Easter met him at the quarterback. And again, 4th and long, and again, Quintero's going to kick it away.
East LA still struggling to get anything going here. Rayshawn rolling back deep again.
Late substitution, so now they're going to kick it away. 12:05 left in the first half. Wobbly kick. It's a short one. Roland's going to back his team away from it and let it go out of bounds around the 32-yard line. So it's going to be just a 36-yard kick. We'll see where it went out of bounds, and they might made 33, so maybe a 31-yarder. Under 12 minutes left here in the first half, so 21-0. Are we going to see more runs, you think, or are you going to keep this thing wide open?
I think we keep it wide open, at least through the first half. Egot's spinning the ball well. You don't want to go away from that. You guys are getting their opportunities. We're executing. Why change what's working for you?
Empty backfield for Egot out of the shotgun. Triple receivers to the right, double to the left. On the hard count, seeing if Huskies are going to show blitz again, and now getting the call from the near sideline. Egot throws right side, has Jaron Pierce, and Pierce is going to get a couple, maybe up to the 34, so let's just give him a gain of 1. But, you know, Jesse, when you look across the field and you see the slots and the wide receivers between, you know, Pierce and White is in there and DeShazer, and you see the talent and Eby all across right there. I mean, they've got 5 weapons, so it's not like you're running your second-string wide receivers. I mean, these guys could start anywhere.
You read my mind. You look out there 5 wide, and White's just got to be looking around like, who am I going to this play?
And the throw downfield, and Egot makes the completion and completed by DeShazer up near the 45-yard line, and another first down for the Cougars. That was a perfect throw, nice and low, where only his guy could get it.
Same personnel out there. Let's line up and do it again.
So again, here's the tempo pace for the Cougars. Pistol formation with the back behind him is Carter, and the handoff is to Carter left side. Spins around, gets a couple up near the 48-yard line.
Vandenberg there, number 85, back in at tight end, throwing a couple blocks up front. But the Cougars have just dominated this game. They've already run 25 plays. It feels like more than that, though, doesn't it?
The offense has been out there a long time. Well, I guess not too long when you score on the first play of the drive, but they are definitely dictating the pace of this game.
232 yards total offense so far, and we still have over 10 minutes to play in the first half. Again, pistol formation this time. Anderson in the backfield. Play action for Egan. He's got a man wide open. Incomplete. He couldn't get it to DeShazer. DeShazer was open at the 25, and he just overthrew him.
Canyons comes into the game tonight averaging just under 443 yards of total offense per outing. So a little bit ahead of our pace. But, again, it's what you expect from this Cougar offense.
That might have been the first bad throw we've seen from Wyatt Egan tonight. Just overthrew DeShazer, who had gotten behind the cornerback. And it sets up a 3rd and call it 7 at the 48 of the Cougars. Egan, man open, Pierce. Cuts back, gets across the sticks at the 45, and he's got a first down at the 42 and move the chains again. That'll be the 11th first down of the game for the Cougar offense.
Looked like Pierce was close to slipping out of that one. Could have taken it a little ways farther. Fresh set of downs will do the trick, though.
Man, I'm getting tired of watching this Cougar offense. They are just running at a torrid pace tonight. Triple receivers to the left of Egan. Anderson still in there, running back. And the handoff is to Anderson. Breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage, puts his head down, and gets to the 38. So a pickup of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Cougars. And, you know, that's got to be so discouraging if you're a defensive lineman, because you're playing against an offense that's coming after you, and they can do everything. They've got a big running back that'll barrel over you, but also you've got a quarterback that can throw it over your head.
Yeah, I mean, case in point, a few plays ago we were 5 wide, come back in the same formation. And
a free play again for the Cougars, and just throwing it up for grabs, incomplete.
But that mix of pass and run, keeping you on your heels, don't know what to expect. There's obviously talent at every position. How do you match up with that?
So another offsides. I think that's the 4th offside penalty of the night for East LA. So obviously the Cougars saw something of it showing their blitzing, and they're running on that hard count. And Wyatt Egan's been able to get that defense to jump offside several times tonight. So it sets up a 2nd and 1. And again, great play or opportunity here to go for the touchdown. Egan back to pass, goes for the end zone. Incomplete. It was almost intercepted. He tried to get it to Brandon Pierce, and that one was underthrown a little bit, and the defensive back, not sure if he's hurt or if his ego's a little bit hurt. Looked like he had a shot at picking that one off.
Might have got banged up there a little bit, but I think exactly right. He's had his hand on the ball and probably wanted to make a big play.
Coming over to make that play was Chad Earl. Earl is from Seneca, South Carolina. He's a sophomore, 6'2", 210-pounder, and pretty big kid for a cornerback. But did a good job staying with Pierce that time, and actually went over the top of Pierce and used his height advantage to.
Pierce not an easy guy to cover either. I mean, that speed over the middle. Yeah, he leads the team in touchdowns for a reason.
DeShazer at the top, double tight. White in the near side. And the handoff straight forward, and I don't think he's going to get it. Actually may have lost a yard. That was Miles Anderson, and Anderson loses a yard back to the 34 here. So I think we're going to bring on Tanner Brown to kick what should be about a 51-yarder. Yeah, so Brown's going to actually.
You know, he's got the leg for this. He missed a 50-yarder last week at Moore Park, his first miss of the season. Was just short, but in talking to him, this is a confident young man, knows he's got the leg to make these deep kicks, and, you know, watching the game from the sidelines, his teammates have all the trust in the world in him.
So Tanner Brown attempting a 51-yarder out of the hold of Junpei Dobashi, and I think we've got movement here, so this is going to turn into a 56-yarder. That may be testing his leg a little bit. I mean, there's no reason for it not to do it. I know what Iacenta is thinking. He's thinking, no, he's going to punt it away. Bummer for Brown. But you got to get your kicker ready, especially, that's tough when you have a season where you've been up by several touchdowns. You've got to get your kicker in that mode of kicking that because, when you come playoff time or, of course, next week against Ventura, you want to be able to count out not just, kicking in the middle of the game, but when it counts.
Sure, and that's been a big part of the Cougars' offense all season long, that ability to get points even when a drive stalls or, you can't get it into the end zone. Tanner Brown, like I said, nearly automatic.
So Brown will line up now in the punt formation, and the ball skips under his legs, and he's going to get hammered, and East LA is going to get the first turnover of the game, and they'll have the ball in the deepest part of the Cougar the Cougar field all night long, and they're going to get it 1st and 10 at the Cougar 37-yard line.
That's a tough break, Barry. The last punt, he had to adjust a little bit for the snap. This time looked like he couldn't get a handle on it. So you'll go back to the sideline and work on that, maybe see if there was an issue with the snap. But tough break. We'll see what East LA can do. But
first test of the night for the Cougar defense, quite frankly.
Let's see if they're up to the challenge here.
Under 8 minutes left in the first half. Handoff straight up the middle and still on his feet and finally come over and dropped at the 35-yard line. Making the tackle was Valor, I believe, Trey Valor. Villar, and the thing about Villar, too, is that Ted Iacenta talked about Villar. Villar is really stepping his game up, and he's going to get more playing time at that nickelback, and that's what we're seeing right now. Back to pass. Tran across the middle, tipped up, incomplete. And, boy, that was a dangerous pass. You had 4 Cougars around there. In fact, the Cougars had a better chance of hauling that one in.
I think that was Brian Barrera that got his hands up on there. Local kid representing Golden Valley. Almost came away with the turnover.
Coach Iacenta was talking about Trey Villar and how he has stepped up his game, and as the season's gone on, every opportunity he had, he's taken advantage of it, and he's getting a good shot tonight out of Grand Rapids Christian in Michigan. And a dangerous pass and immediately caught and hit hard, and that is Villar again, and right as we talk about him, he makes a fantastic play. Look at the closing speed on that one. And no gain on that one. Trey Villar with another tackle for the Cougars.
You set them up for that one, Barry, but you're absolutely right. These kids, they work hard all week. They work hard all spring and summer leading up to this. When they get in there, they're rearing to go. They want to make the most of their opportunities.
And Wills comes in. It's 4th down, 4th and about 7 as Villar comes the near sideline. And Wills gets back in. Brian Wills from Quartz Hill at the nickelback. So big 4th down play. Here comes the blitz off the edge, just chucking it up, and it's going to be turned on. Oh, they're going to throw a flag. Come on.
Tough break there. You see the pressure coming on. Ball's up in the air.
I don't even see how you call that. That's ridiculous. And then, I love how the back judge throws the flag because he sees his other guy just to back him up. There's no chance that was interference. He turned. He was step for step with him and then turned right when the ball came and had his hands, wasn't touching him or anything. That's a terrible call.
Bailed out the Huskies right there. Fresh set of downs here.
So it brings the ball down to the 20-yard line, so they couldn't do it through the air. They do it through the yellow hanky, and 1st and 10 for East LA at the Cougar 20-yard line. They have 4 receivers now to the near sideline. The triple receivers bunched up at the hash mark. For Tran out of the shotgun, empty back set. 1st and 10, 6:39 left in the first half. They try the right side, nothing there. Now they're going to throw the back of the end zone, and this one just goes over the end line, and nobody had a chance at that one. So Cougar defense stepping up again.
Let's hope we got a bend not break situation. Like you said, the quarterback just got rid of that one. Coming back, this is the point in the field where the Cougars are going to try and look to make a turnover, get this stop, get things back going on our way.
East LA not very efficient in the red zone as they are right at the 20-yard line in the red zone here. They only score 55% of the time. Ike showing blitz on the near side to the left side of the defense. And he's coming on the blitz, play action to the end zone, almost intercepted. And it looked like Roland had that one, but it went incomplete. Roland jumped up and I thought he had it.
Upset with himself that he wasn't able to haul that in. Looked like he might have had some room around him for a healthy return. Like I said, that kid is fast. He's got a good nose for the ball. Just didn't come up with it that time.
Yeah, the nice punt return earlier, and now with a great defensive close. So 3rd and 10 for East LA at the 20-yard line. Cougars showing blitz up the middle.
Big down here.
Play action. Here's the pressure, and across the middle, not even close. And, boy, the Cougars Trent just has no idea. He has no chance at doing anything. They're going to actually bring on the kicking unit, and this kicking unit has struggled. Rangel is their kicker. We'll see if that's who they're going to use. But
I think at this point you're just trying to get the 3 points, stop the bleeding, go back and refocus, see if they can execute.
Rangel is a lefty. You don't see a left-footed kicker, almost a left-handed kicker from Santa Fe Springs. The kick is up. He's got enough leg on it. And it's good. So Rangel kicks the 37-yarder. So with 6:17 left in the first half, it's still Cougars up 21-3 over East LA. We'll come back with more. You've got it tuned to COC College Football Live on SoCalCollegeSports.com. So the Cougars lose the shutout, but still up 21-3. The Huskies from East LA taking advantage of the interference call. Want to thank AV Equipment Rentals, Consumers Furniture, Salt Creek Grill for helping us out here at COC Cougar Football, Chick-fil-A in the Valencia Town Center, Vista Canyon, and Sage Staffing. Short kickoff taken at the 18-yard line across the 25 to the 30. And still on his feet across the 40, down almost to the 47-yard line. And a nifty little return coming there for Taylor. Khalid Taylor from Notre Dame High School, a sophomore, 5'9", 180 pounds, and a good return by Taylor. And good starting field position for the Cougar offense, again on their own 45.
Egan Company coming back out. We'll see what Coach Isena wants to do here. Obviously in control, but you'd like to get another one here heading into the half.
Bringing that Vandenberg at tight end on the left side. Anderson is the single set back to the right of Egan. Just over 6 minutes left in the first half. Huskies showing blitz, and they've blitzed on probably about, 60-70% of the plays tonight. So now Egan gets the call, and we'll see whether East LA stays in the blitz. They do. They hand off to Anderson straight up the middle. He's going to put his head down and get to midfield. So 5-yard pickup, 2nd and 5 now for the Cougars. Pearson to Chaser to the near side. EB on the far side. Vandenberg, 85 at tight end. So they just flipped the formation. 2nd and 5, play action, quick hitch to the left side to Shazer, 50, 45, makes a man miss. Darts back to about the 41-yard line. So a nifty little pickup of 9 and a first down for the Cougars.
Just like that, back into Husky territory. Cougars are on the move.
Wyatt Egan extremely efficient tonight. 16 of 21 tonight. Here comes, they're just showing that blitz right up the middle every time, and now Egan knows what he wants to call. Puts Anderson to the right. Rolling to his right under pressure. He's got to get out of there and just go down. He does. First sack of the night.
Looked like he was trying to get rid of it. Made the wise decision to just tuck it in. Don't want to risk a turnover here at this point.
Well, I don't know if he was really – I didn't see him tucking in much, Jesse. That ball was not being tucked in. Mitchell Williams, coming off of the corner from Compton Centennial. So the loss all the way back to the 45-yard line. It's going to be second and we'll call it 24. Egett going for DeShazer on the near sideline, and Shazer tries to go up with one hand and can't get it. So the incomplete pass, that is just the sixth incompletion for Egett tonight. 16 of 22, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns for Wyatt Egett.
Third and long here. Interesting to see if you try and go for it all or just get some yards and set up your punter here.
Well, they go with the empty backfield set, so you're not going to get a screen to the back. And they do. They hit screen. The ball tipped in the air, and it looks to be intercepted. It is.
I believe that was number 37 for the Huskies.
That's Garrett Rogers from Don Lugo High School. 6'3", 205-pound sophomore outside linebacker. And the second turnover of the night. By the Cougars, and again, for the second series in a row, the East LA offense starts inside Cougar territory, this time at the 34-yard line. Almost exactly where they started the last drive.
I was going to say, this is going to be another important test for Canyons. About just over 4 minutes to go here in the game. We don't want to let the
handoff up the middle, but no go there, says KJ Latou. Latou is, and we do have an injury. The Cannon Chandler this loses 2 yards, but we do have a Cougar down in the field. That's one of the linemen. I can't see a number on that, Jesse.
I believe that's number 99.
It is, actually. That's Tavita.
Or DeCarlo Hamilton.
Oh, check it. You're right. I'm sorry, Carlo Hamilton. Hamilton and one of those reserve defensive linemen getting some opportunity here in the first half. They move those defensive linemen in and out. So Hamilton still on the field. And hope that's not bad for him. But, man, can you talk about KJ Latou. Look at the closing speed on that, how he came behind the line. And you're talking about a very speedy running back in Cannon Chandler. And Chandler's just 5'8", 175 pounds, and that's soaking wet with his pads on. And, they have Latou listed at 240. I don't think Latou's 240. I mean, KJ's got a few more LBs on him than that. I'm not talking about linebackers. So he probably had probably near 100 pounds on him, and Latou just manhandled him. But what do you think? You look at guys like that, and Jesse, this is what this program is about. I know, obviously you want to win the state title, you want to win the national championship, all these things, but it's about giving these kids an opportunity, like a KJ Latou who had another opportunity to play. You talk about a Charles Ike who was done with football, Kenny Torrance wasn't going to play football again. These guys that come back and have a chance to, they're not going to go to the NFL, but they get an opportunity to stay in a program, mature as men, and become great citizens, and that's what Ted Isena has been preaching since he got here 6 years ago.
Absolutely. I mean, the opportunity to come in, play for your school, work on your education, get that the opportunity to go to the next level. I mean, there's nothing better than it.
Hamilton walking to the near sideline. You see gingerly, so it looks to be some sort of a lower extremity. He's still in pain, but fortunately coming to the near sideline under his own power. So the loss of 2 sets up 2nd and 12. Back outside of the 36-yard line for the Huskies. Shotgun again, hand off to Chandler. He breaks a tackle in the backfield. Now he's in the open. He's going to get him up for the first down. Barrera finally brings him down, but not until he gets inside the 25 to the 23, and a first down for East LA.
I want to say that was Johnny Morrison, got a hand on him in the backfield, couldn't bring him down.
Now they come out in that double swinging gate formation that we've been seeing quite a bit tonight, and they run the option and get hit hard, and Latou again.
Oh, that was Morrison.
Well, Morrison actually had the running back, and it was Latou who got the quarterback, and Morrison and Chandler were having a nice little how do you do session there at the 30-yard line. So no gain on the quarterback keeper. It'd be 2nd and 10 now. Latou coming again, showing like he's going to blitz, and he's going to jump off sides.
A little anxious on that one. Had a first step, but just a hair too soon.
So the free 5 yards is going to bring it inside the 20-yard line, down to the 18, where it'll be 2nd and 5. 3:13 left in the first half. Half that's been all Cougars, but defense wants to step it up here, trying to stop East LA from taking advantage of that interception. Back to pass and going down, and there's Johnny Morrison.
Well, I knew if I said his name enough, he'd do something, and there it was. Big play for the Cougars in an important stand. You don't want to let East LA get one in here heading into half.
And J-Mo with a big sack, the 245-pound sophomore from Ewa Beach, Hawaii.
Coming off a big game last week, recorded that safety, had a couple other stops for loss.
Back to the 28, so it's going to be 3rd and 15 now. Tran looking to the far sideline, getting the call. Single set back to his left is Allen. Cougars want to stop him here. Force him to go for it. On 4th down, and Tran's going to run, and he breaks the tackle, and then he's going to hit hard. Oh, he gets hit really hard. The ball came loose after Tran was down. We still have a Cougar down, and that was actually Spates. Looks like he's slow getting up. He's going to be okay, but it's going to go down to the 21-yard line, and there's no second guessing here. On 4th down, they're going to go for it. 4th and 8. Quickly to the line. Trying to see if they can get the defense to jump and get the free 5 yards. Clock still running, 1:46 and counting left in the first half. Again, Latou showing blitz on the near edge. And now you've got some movement, and looks like we're still going to go. And finally, East LA is going to call a timeout. It looked like the left tackle just stood up, Jesse. And, you know, once you're set, you can't stand up.
I was going to say, didn't seem like a big sense of urgency there from East LA.
Yeah, they were trying to get him to jump off sides. Don't forget to follow SoCal College Sports on both Facebook, or all Facebook, Twitter, and, of course, on YouTube here at SoCal College Sports 1. So the clock stops with 1:29 left, and now the coaching staff has brought on the kicking unit. Rangel on to attempt another field goal. This almost exactly the same length of the first one. The first one was 27 yards. This one's going to be 28 yards from the left hash mark. Almost exactly the same spot.
You know, if they're able to convert on this, the score doesn't look that lopsided. You go down 15 and a half, that's a couple scores. For as dominant as Canyons has looked this game, this isn't a bad result for East LA.
So this will be 38 yards. And the kick is up. It's got enough leg. Is it straight enough? And it is. So 2 long field goals, well, mid-range field goals, 37 and 38 for East LA, and that brings them within 15 points to 21-6 with 1:24 left here in the first half. But a lot of time, the Cougars with a full complement of timeouts, and you better believe Coach Iacetta is going to try to get more points out of this.
Oh, absolutely. They'll be looking for another score. If nothing else, get in Tanner Brown's range. Try and go into the halftime with some momentum.
First half total yards, 221 yards to 60 yards. And this is a little bit interesting, as the Cougars have 220 yards passing. But rushing, they only have 1 net yard rushing.
We're coming in averaging over 137 points, or excuse me, rushing yards a game, so a little bit under their pace. A lot of that tends to come in the second half. You know, we've had the luxury of playing with leads in the second half, so we'll see if that trend continues here.
Cougars have committed 2 turnovers. They had the fumbled snap, the low fumbled snap that Tanner Brown couldn't bring in, and then the interception, tipped interception by thrown by Wyatt Eakett. Both of those turnovers turned into field goals. So Rangel's going to kick it away, and it's going to be a short one. Taken by the up man at the 30, across the 35 to the 37, and that's Latu. So the Cougars are going to start at their own 38-yard line.
Latu playing a role in all phases of the game. Had a 10-yard touchdown run last week. Appears on special teams here. Of course, we know about his exploits on the defensive side of the ball.
And he actually he helped buff all the helmets yesterday afternoon.
Valuable guy to have around, that's for sure.
So Anderson will come in with Eakett. He'll line up to the right side, tied in left for the Cougars offense. 1:20 to work, 3 timeouts from their own 38 and a 15-point lead. Eakett steps up, and he's going to go down. So second sack of the night on a Wyatt Eakett. The loss back to the 34-yard line. The clock's still running. And a little curious, thought they might have used their timeout there, Jesse.
Either have something dialed up here or going to be content with the lead. I don't know. That doesn't seem characteristic of us, but
here comes the blitz again. They run the bubble screen or the screen out of the backfield, should say, to Anderson. Anderson just up across the 35 to the 36, and there is your first timeout. And they lost about 4 seconds. The clock was at 42. So we lost about 4 seconds on the clock. Do we get those back, Jesse? Do we have any leeway to get those seconds back?
I'm sure I could pull some strings, but
hey, coming up at halftime, we'll give you the stats and rundown. We'll also give you scores from around Southern California and the junior college games going on. Jesse, also you have a special guest who's going to be joining us in the booth here? No? Okay. You're supposed to set that up, aren't you?
not this week. You know, my first go-around here, I thought if anything I'd jump on and talk to you guys a little bit more, but want to thank all our fans watching the live stream from across the country. I know we have some out-of-state players, so happy you can join us here, take in some of the action. Appreciate the support.
4-1. So, see, there you go. I told you. So,
You were
41.
right.
They're putting the clock 41 seconds back on the clock. You got to have more weight than I should have gone down there and told them, Jesse.
Shout out to Tim Dugan, our scoreboard and clock operator.
So 3rd and 13 for the Cougars at their own 36. Eakett back to pass, steps up, and he's going to run. He's going to be well shy of the first down, go out of bounds and stop the clock with 35 seconds left. So the Cougar punt team's going to come on, and the Cougars couldn't get anything going on that. 3 and out on that drive.
One more chance here for the punt team. Let's try and execute this one. Mishaps on the last 2 go-rounds. Would hate to see that happen again here late in the second half.
Now remember, the long snapper is Junpei Dabashi, who is the holder as well.
Usually pretty reliable on those snaps. I'm not sure what was happening out there. Junpei, one of our international student athletes, having another big impact this year.
Went to high school down in Alemany, originally from Japan. The snap low again. Brown gets it, and it's blocked. It's partially blocked, and it's going to be returned to the 39-yard line, and that is Rogers again, who had the interception last series. And with 26 seconds left and 2 timeouts, East LA says, hey, we think we can get some more points. So the last 3 possessions, you have a fumbled punt snap, an interception, and then here with a blocked punt, and Rogers going up and returning that one. And they just came off the edge.
You know, I said it before the snap, but that's the last thing you want to see. Unable to execute there, setting up the defense for, you know, putting their back to the wall here, but let's see what they can do.
So the Canyons defense going to get tested again here for the third consecutive series. 26 seconds left and 2 timeouts for East LA. Out of the shotgun, back to pass. Only rushing 3, so plenty of time back across the field. They've got a receiver down to the 25-yard line, and it's going to be a first down. They're going to stop the clock to move the chains. Completion over there to Valdivia. And now the clock moves 13 seconds, and the spike down to 11. So 11, well, we got an extra second there, so 10 seconds. 10 seconds left, still 2 timeouts, and at the 25, this would be about a 42-yarder. Now, Rangel has had a made on 37 and 38, and he's had plenty of distance, so they're in field goal position right now.
Again, I think East LA would be thrilled to get another 3 points here. Look for them to take a shot, but if it doesn't work out, the field goal team is ready.
So the last 3 possessions, the Huskies have started inside of the 40-yard line because 12 seconds, okay.
Regardless of the outcome here, I think the talk you have at halftime is to stay focused, get back to what was working in the first quarter. You don't want to let this slip away here.
So Tran with no backs behind him, triple receivers to the right. Ike showing blitz on the near side, and they run the loop inside, and now the catch is made to the 20 to the 19-yard line. Tackle made there by Richardson, and now they're well within range here. 6 seconds left, and East LA uses their second timeout. So now you got 6 seconds here, Jesse, and I mean, you maybe got a chance to throw a short one, but I don't know. You've got also got an opportunity that if you take too long with this.
Surprised they didn't go end zone last play, honestly. Must have seen something he liked, took the easy yards.
So they did.
They're going to try it one more time.
Yeah, so they are going to go another play here.
Again, you would think the 3 points are more valuable in this type of game. But if you come up.
Chandler to the right of Tran, back to pass, across the middle, incomplete, and Spates had a chance at getting that, and tell you what, that was a dangerous throw across the middle, so 3 seconds left, and the kicking unit comes on. It was intended for done.
I don't think the receiver even got his head turned around.
No, he didn't. Tran knew he didn't have very much time to throw that, so he just chucked it in there, but Spates had a better chance of catching that than Dunn did. So this is going to be lining up at the 26-yard line. So already kicking a 37 and a 38. This would be a 36-yarder. So a 36, 37, 38 field goals. And I think College of the Canyons, Cougars are going to try to ice Juan Rangel. So
yeah, let them think about it a little bit. You know, 3 times out there, we still do not get used to seeing a left-footed kicker.
This one's a little different. The other ones have been from the left hash mark. This one's from the right hash mark. But, you know, the Cougars were rolling. I mean, it was 21-0, and, you know, it looked like they would not be stopped, and then they got stopped. They were down to the 40-yard line, and they had the penalty that brought it back to back in their own territory, and they ended up having to punt on that series, and that's where the fumbled punt went, and things have kind of gone downhill for the offense since then.
The penalties, the mishandled snaps, you know, you just don't want this to compound itself. So, like I said, halftime, I expect the Cougars to look to refocus.
So the 36-yard kick from the right hash mark for Juan Rangel, trying to cut the Cougar lead to 12. Kick is up. It's got enough leg, and it is good. So Juan Rangel connects on 36, 37, and 38 yards in the last 3 drives, all after turnovers by the Cougars. But the Cougars still lead 21-9. Halftime coming up next. Stay tuned. You've got to tune to COC Cougar football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. So it's 21-9 at halftime here at Cougar Stadium on the campus of College of the Canyons. Cougars jumped out to an early 21-0 lead. The first score of the game was the first offensive play of the game where Wyatt Egan went 68 yards to Brandon Pierce, and the kick by Tanner Brown was good. So with 14:46, that made it 7-0 for the Cougars. On the very next series, Wyatt Egan came back and completed a 27-yarder to Jaron Pierce. Point after, again, good. That made it 14-0 with 5:55 left of the first. And then the Cougars scored again, this time on the opening drive in the second quarter, and Wyatt Egan, with 13:20 left in the second, ran over the right side on the quarterback option, and quarterback keeper kept it 12 yards for the touchdown. And again, Brown perfect for the point after, and the Indians and Cowboys. Sorry, that's my Friday night stuff talking there. But the Cougars up 21-0 and looked to be rolling, but things kind of unraveled. The Cougars took it all the way down to the 30-yard line. They did have a penalty, a 15-yard penalty, brought it back, and then it was second and long, third and long, and eventually had to punt. And the snap was a low snap, and Tanner Brown couldn't reel it in, so it was a turnover and a good starting field position for East LA. They turned it into a 37-yard field goal with 6:17 left. They made it 21-3. And then on the next drive, Wyatt Egan was trying to throw a screen. It was tipped in the air, and it was finally intercepted by Garrett Rogers for East LA. And East LA turned that into a 38-yard field goal with 1:24 left in the second quarter. And then on the very next drive on the punt was blocked up in the air. Rogers again fielded it and brought it inside the 40-yard line, and the Huskies turned that one at the lads. The clock expired in the first half, turned that into a 36-yard field goal. So, Jesse, what is started off as a runaway 21-0 is a 21-9. We're still in the football game, and there were points there after that third touchdown where we thought this was going to be a blowout.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a momentum shift. You talked about the penalty on the special teams play, and then that resulted in the bad snap and the block punt, the turnover. So, again, something you don't want to see compound. Canyons was clearly in control in the first half, early going to the first half. Let East LA get in a little bit of momentum maybe. But, I mean, I expect us to come back out, get back to that game plan, let the stifling defense do what it does best, and let's see what Egan and company can do out there.
Cougars had 12 touchdowns to 5 for East LA. Meanwhile, total yards offense. And here's something a little bit surprising for the Cougars is they did have 222 yards through the air, but only 3 yards on the ground, and that's something that, I know Coach Eisen doesn't look specifically at yards, but when you only gain 3 yards in the first half, that's definitely something that needs to work on. They got to be able to run the ball more effectively, and we don't want to talk about next week, but when you're going to play the teams like Ventura and of course Fullerton, you're going to have to be able to run the ball. You can't throw the ball 60 times a game and gain 400 or 500 yards. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't matter who the opponent is. You do not want to be one-dimensional. So if we can come back out, do some of the things that were successful for us in the first quarter, add on top of that with a run game, we definitely have a stable of backs. So let's get them going, see what we can do.
Finally, Wyatt Egan gets 17, 12, 24, 222 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns and an interception in the first half. And then most of those yardage on the ground, though, was that minus 24 yards. They do consider that a run by Tanner Brown when he did fumble the snap. But Miles Anderson, 6 carries for only 16 yards. Wyatt Egan, 5 carries for 4 yards. Forrest Carter, 2 carries for 7 yards. There are 7 different receivers who have caught a pass. Jaron Pierce, the leading receiver, 5 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. So it all adds up to a 21-9 lead for the Cougars at halftime, but this game is far from over, and the Cougars are going to be kicking off in the second half. So East LA College is going to get it to start the second half. I want to thank our sponsors this season for helping us out here at College of the Canyons. And Cougar football, AV Equipment Rentals. AV Equipment Rentals is the right tool to do the job right there on Railroad Avenue. They also have propane for your barbecue, and there's no minimum quantities to buy. I want to thank our friends at Consumers Furniture, the Mosier family, locally owned and operated for 39 consecutive years here in Santa Clarita. In fact, this weekend they've got their big anniversary sale going on, 20% off everything in the store. They're in the Center Point Shopping Center, just down from Sam's Club. Also want to thank our friends at Salt Creek Grill, the best Sunday brunch in town and the best place to go for fine dining. Been here in Santa Clarita now for 20 years, and locally owned and operated by our good friend Greg Hamsler. So make sure you stop by there. And again, Sunday brunch is absolutely spectacular. That's Salt Creek Grill in the Valencia Town Center. Speaking of the Valencia Town Center, Chick-fil-A now open Monday through Saturday till 11 o'clock. You can get your Chick-fil-A fix up until 11. I want to thank our friends at Vista Canyon, brand new development on the east side of town, and some really spectacular things going on there. And we also want to thank our friends at Sage Staffing for temporary personnel, Sage Staffing, Greg Kincaid, and the crew over there. Thanks so much for stepping up and helping us here at Cougars Football and SoCalCollegeSports.com. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with the second half kickoff, so stay tuned. This is going to be a good one. The number 2 ranked team in the state of California, the College of the Canyons Cougars, up 21-9 over East LA at halftime. You're listening and watching to SoCalCollegeSports.com.
I give them those beside me. I never give up. And if I do, I give them those I believe in. When you go next me down, I'll pick him up. I get it set. I never give up. I believe in the cause. I'll fight to the end. And we will win. This I promise. CLC.
We're looking for young men who are selfless, who want to be great teammates as well as great players. Our strength and conditioning program is second to none. I would place what we do in the off-season up against any off-season program at any level. Our goal is to move these student athletes on, but have them excel when they get to where they're going. Creating that culture is paramount to our success here at College of the Canyons, and you have to have the student athletes that aren't afraid of competition in order to achieve that. This is not just a program for football players. This is a program for engineers, future lawyers, doctors, teachers, etc. They can achieve here. We're very excited about the history of College of the Canyons. We've sent players to every major conference in the country, all the mid-majors. We've had Cougars participate in the NFL, but we're even more excited about the future.
Just a reminder, guys, you can watch all of our action around the SCFA and the 3C2A on SoCal College Sports. Our Facebook page, Facebook.com/SoCal College Sports 1. on Twitter at SoCal College SPO, and on YouTube at SoCal College Sports 1. You can catch all of our SCFA action, including your favorite teams like Ventura College, College of the Canyons, Pierce College, Antelope Valley College, and many others. Second half kickoff coming up in 2 minutes. We'll be back live with that coverage in a few moments. Thank you for watching.
Just a couple of minutes away from kickoff here in the second half at Cougar Stadium on the campus of College of the Canyons. Good evening to you. I'm Barry McKeever along with Jesse Munoz. Anne-Marie Johnson is our director here on College Sports, SoCalCollegeSports.com. Good to have you with us. We still got a lot of football to play. Jesse, let's talk about some of the games already played tonight in Southern California college, junior college football. And what about Riverside? Check these guys out, man. The Cats from Riverside. They now improved to 6-1. A big win over Golden West tonight, 24-6. And they're going to be moving up in the rankings, aren't they?
Definitely. And, you know, Golden West was here a few weeks back. They are no joke, a tough team. Riverside always talented, both sides of the ball. They should, you know, they came in as number 3. We'll see what happens the rest of the way, but if nothing else, they're going to stay there.
Chaffee beat up on Santa Ana 59-24. Meanwhile, Southwestern over Grossmont 37-20. LA Southwest over West LA 17-14. Allen Hancock shutting out Santa Monica 52-0. Bakersfield over Long Beach 22-17. LA Valley defeating Compton, no surprise there, 42-6. San Bernardino Valley over Mount San Jacinto 42-14. Let's see, AV and Desert, the barn burner up in, speaking of the Desert College in Antelope Valley, 0-0 to halftime. That's an exciting one, huh?
Low-scoring affair. You know, the one that jumped out at me, Long Beach, that's a tough 2-game skid, was hosting Bakersfield for their homecoming. So you know they had some big expectations heading into that game. We'll see them here in a couple weeks, same with Bakersfield at our regular season finale. So 2 teams to keep an eye on.
Santa Barbara leading LA Harbor in the beginning of the second half, 14-10. Meanwhile, El Camino over Mount Sac, 31-14, and Mount Sac just doesn't quite have it this season, huh?
You know, Mount Sac, always one of those powerhouse programs in the state. Had some ups and downs this year. It made a climb in the polls, but if this result holds true, looks like they could be slipping a little bit.
Pasadena City over L.A. Pierce, the final score. And Fullerton had the week off, Jesse, and, you know, there's a lot of talk about what's going on with Fullerton. There were some possible sanctions there. You know, we haven't heard much about it. They are still, as it stands right now, they are the #1 team in Southern California. I don't even know about a national ranking. I know they were top 3 there as well. But what can happen is the Cougars can't look past, first of all, tonight, obviously, then next week against Ventura. They can't be looking. It doesn't really matter what Fullerton does and what happens if there aren't. It doesn't really matter if you're ranked number 1, 2, or 3. They got to take care of business week to week.
Definitely. Like you said, long way to go here. Next week's definitely a game that's been circled. And, you know, as far as the Fullerton situation, that's something that's going on the outside. That's something Canyons can't control. So I think as long as they keep their focus on their opponent week to week, they're going to be just fine.
So the Cougars will kick it off to start the second half. Again, leading 21-9 over East LA College. And I know Coach Ted Iacenta not happy about those final 3 turnovers and giving up the 9 points. More importantly than just giving up the shutout, you give up the 9 points in such a disappointing fashion. The kickoff goes into the end zone, and Robinson's going to bring it out. He's going to take the long way home, and he's going to go down to the 10-yard line. Good coverage by the Cougars. A host of Cougars down there. It looked like,
I want to say that was Norio Thomas on the stop.
I'm going to say Josh Madison. I think it was 43.
Yeah, you're right, Barry. You're absolutely right on that.
So
one.
Madison coming in there and tripping up Robinson to the 10-yard line, and the Cougars trying to pin down the Huskies in their own territory. And this Cougar defense came out stifling, shut down the East LA offense, held them to under 100 yards total offense in the first half. They come out in a spread formation. Chandler, the single sent back to the left, takes the hand off the left side and stopped there. I think that was Spates coming up and make the tackle. Actually, check it. That was Richardson. So Tyler Richardson adding to his totals. And, you know, we talk about this linebacking core, Jesse, just getting better week by week, and they are so deep between Jones, Richardson, Latou, Ike, Spates. Rolling to his right. Looking downfield and going to keep it and come down, and a good stop there by Spates. Speaking of Tariq Spates, the Valencia High product brings Tran down. And Tran, by the way, getting the start in the second half ahead of Aguero. We saw him for the first 2 drives, and that was it. We've seen Tran ever since then.
Definitely, you know, and back to your point about the linebackers, it's a – to quote one of our players, we got dudes out there. We got guys that can make some plays. We got guys that are willing to step up no matter the situation. So, long way to go here. They look to be refocused here coming out in the second half. We'll see how this goes.
3rd and 6 from the 14-yard line for the Huskies. Pumps once, looks left. Oh, dangerous pass, but the catch is made. And a tightrope walk along the sideline. And it's going to be a first down, but that for a moment there, that looked to be an easy pick 6. And
game of inches. I think he was just a step away. It looked like Vukobradovic.
Vuk was that, yeah, that was Jacques Vukobradovic, the freshman, 6'2", 175-pounder out of Grace Brethren. And I think Vuk thought he had it too.
Yeah, and that's the type of play the Cougars could use right now. Get this momentum back on our side, get the bench ignited, get the fans into it.
So the 7-yard gain gives them a first down, play action, and the ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. And I think that was, might have been Morrison again also in there. Helping out was Fainga'a.
I'll say it again, Morrison's coming on strong the last couple of games. Makes another play on the ball there.
They spread that formation. It's that Utah spread where they bring the tackles now to each of the numbers and 2 receivers to each side as well. 2nd and 10, and they hand off inside, and now still spinning. And finally brought down for a loss. And a huge tackle by Khalid Taylor. Taylor with the tackle for loss all the way back to the 15-yard line and a 6-yard loss. And that just shows the speed of the Cougar defense.
Got away from the first guy. Taylor was there to close in, make the stop. Again, if the first guy doesn't get you, chances are the second or the third will, and these Cougars swarm to the ball.
We've got an injured Husky down at the 16-yard line, and they're already calling, I believe he's face down. I don't see a number. He's not moving right now. And even over there is Cannon Chandler, the running back, is kneeled down.
Trainers from both schools out on the field. Hope this isn't too serious.
I don't see a number. Oh, now they got him up. I don't know if you can see a number where you are, Jesse. I think that second number is a 3, but.
Let's see, trainer standing right there, doing her job, but.
So they are helping him up. That is 63, I believe, and that is Dixon Sewell. Out of Pago Pago, American Samoa. And
getting a little bit of help, but.
Yeah, a lot of help. So the 6-yard loss back to the 15-yard line. But we were talking about the speed of the defense, and even though Chandler was hit in the backfield and got out of it, then you had the linebacker coming from the outside. You also had the safety coming up, and it's so even when one guy misses, you've got other guys that are coming up and stopping you.
Absolutely, no two ways about it. Someone's going to take the hit there. And hopefully we can do it before they get too far up the field. 3rd and 16 upcoming. Another big play here for the Cougars.
Cougar defense would love to get off the field here.
My thoughts exactly. Get off here, let Egit go back out there and do his thing.
So Lowry and Vukobradovic are pretty deep, lined up at their 30-yard line. It looks like they're going to run a 2 deep coverage here. 3rd and 15. For the Huskies.
I would think East LA would just try and get a chunk here, set up a better punt, but you never know what they have up their sleeve.
Back to pass, under pressure, and nothing going there. That was well covered on their sideline. Session was running deep, but it was well covered by Lowry. Had him over the top, and underneath the coverage was Roland. So
Tran a little slow to get up there too. Again, that relentless pressure, they're going to make you feel it.
So the Cougars look to get really good starting field position for their first offensive drive of the second half. Rolling back to receive the punt at his own 45-yard line. Quintero will kick it away, and this one's a deep one. His best one of the night. Gets it up in the air. It goes out of bounds. Roland not able to return it, but still pretty good starting field position for the Cougars. We'll see where they put out of bounds. They mark it at their own 43. 12:45 left in the third.
And while that happens, you see the Cougar defense huddled on the sideline with defensive coordinator Coach Dan Corbett. Look at that. Look at those guys, that sheer amount of bodies down there, all paying attention, all dialed in, looking to see who's going to get the next shot, what we can do to close things out here. Meanwhile, Egit back under center.
So the Cougars still up 21-9 now. Opening drive for the offense in the second half. Egit's going to hand off straight up the middle and all the way down inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. Getting the call for the first time tonight, that's Cordelis McFadden. And McFadden's first play of the game and his first carry goes all the way down to the 35. And look at him keeping his feet there and quickly just, well, blocked up front.
That could be the spark we need here in the running game. You know, you get him a couple carries, see if he can't get into rhythm.
Egit's going to keep it himself on the option, and he's carrying that ball way outside of him like that. Gets down to the 30-yard line, a pickup of 6. But
you like the aggressiveness, but at the same time, you know, tuck it in. We don't want to have another miscue.
Again, already 3 turnovers. The last 3 drives, all turnovers, and it resulted in field goals every time for the opposing team. So 6-yard gains bring up 2nd and 4. McFadden now helping the jersey of Egit. Triple receivers to the left.
Here comes the blitz. Hand off to McFadden, right side, and he's going to break a tackle in the backfield, get the first down inside the 25, near the 24-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougars.
Used the stiff arm there, found the edge, picked up the first down. That's what I'm talking about. A couple more plays like that, and we'll get this run game going.
Now tell us about Cartillis McFadden. He is a freshman, 6'1", 200 pounds. He's from South Carolina. Doesn't have a lot of carries this season, but still nonetheless has been effective when he does get the call. And now the play-action pass. Egan, lots of time across the middle. Incomplete, trying to get Eby in the end zone. I thought Eby had a shot at it. Didn't get there, so the incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10 for the Cougars.
Eby had a step. I think might have got a little tangled, wasn't able to get his hands up. Nope, just a misconnection there. Knocking on the red zone here.
Yeah, Eby just didn't. I don't think he picked up that ball. 2nd and 10 for Egan. And the delay handoff to McFadden. The right side rumbling down inside the 15 to the 14, close to a first down to the 13. Cartillis McFadden came into this game with 53 total yards on the season. It's just 16 carries, and he's got almost that right now.
Is that his 4th carry of the drive here? Definitely giving the Cougars a boost. Knocking on the door again.
So they're going to say he's a yard shy of the first down. They're going to put it at the 14. Need to get to 13. 3rd and 1. Egan bringing McFadden directly behind him now, and there's some confusion there. So Coach Iacenta wants to talk things over, so the Cougars use their first timeout of the second half.
Like you said, maybe a little bit of confusion, maybe saw something they didn't like, want to pounce on this opportunity. Don't take any chances, burn the timeout here.
McFadden 3 carries, 38 yards, all on this drive. Had that 21-yarder to open the second half. And we talk about running back by committee, and it's a cliche everybody uses, but that's really what this team has been. Caden Dunn is your starting running back. He's been out for a couple of weeks with a knee injury. It was Forrest Carter who got the start tonight. He has 2 carries, 7 yards. Then Miles Anderson came in, had 6 carries for 16 yards, was doing some damage, had a couple good runs. We haven't even seen Kenny Torrance yet, but now Cartillis McFadden get a chance to show what he can do here. And look who else is coming in at 3rd and 1, the big boy. That is KJ Latou, lining up at the fullback spot.
And watch out, he's dangerous from this area. Like I said, a 10-yard scamper last week. Throws the big block there.
And McFadden runs to the right side and didn't follow Latou. Latou went to the left side, and McFadden went to the right side, saw a hole there. He does get 2 yards, needed 1, so they're going to move the chains.
But back to your point, Barry, about the stable of skill players here, the fact that they each get in and get their reps, I think that shows that the confidence that the coaching staff has in them, no matter what the situation or who's going in, they know they can get the job done.
So 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line for the Cougars, and another offside movement for the end.
Defense moved first, but I'm not sure if he got back in time. See what the call is.
So they are going to call an offsides.
Brings us a few yards closer.
Killian Zierer, the left tackle, is a freshman. He's 6'7", 250 pounds, from Germany.
And I'll tell you what, I'm 6'7", and he makes me feel short. So that's a big young man out there.
From Hurenkirchen.
Excellent
2nd and 5, thank you. Back to pass. Egan throws it up the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Cougars. Jaron Pierce. And, we got a flag. Hold everything. There is a flag in the backfield, and this is probably going to come back. Looks like a hold.
That didn't stop the celebration. Pierce obviously excited about that. High stepped out of the end zone, but we're going to have to come back and do it again.
So the hold is going to come back, but you can see, Egan just has to throw. He literally just chucked that ball up to a spot, and Pierce just ran it down. Showing his blazing speed.
And that precision in terms of the route running and the timing, knowing where he's going to be. Like you said, you throw into a spot, not necessarily an open receiver.
And as fast as Jaron Pierce is Brandon Pierce is faster. Fakes it left, throws it back again to the corner of the end zone. DeShazer goes up and incomplete. Well covered there on the near side by Williams.
Tough ball to come down with, got a hand on it. Just couldn't reel it in.
So it's going to set up now a 2nd and 15. From the Husky 18-yard line. 9:45 left here in the third quarter. Cougars on their first offensive possession of the second half, holding on to a 21-9 lead over East LA. Egan under pressure, got out of the backfield, and McFadden can't get it. It was almost intercepted. That might have been Rogers again. Rogers looking to get his 2nd pick of the night.
Looked like it just slipped through his hands. I don't know if a little bit too much juice or he wasn't ready for it.
They had it set up, too. He had a blocker in front of him, and McFadden could have gotten some room, but couldn't hang on to that one. So 3rd now and 15. They got to get down to the 3-yard line.
Important down here, obviously in Tanner Brown's range, but we're looking for more, I think.
So Egan looking the near sideline, gets the call. McFadden lines up to his left. Got to hurry, get this play off. He does in time. Quick threat, slant in, incomplete, and it was almost intercepted. He tried to get it to Wiggins on the near side, and man, that was a dangerous pass again. Williams over there, and the punting or field goal unit, comes on.
Dodged one there. Let's see if we can't close it out with the 3 points.
That one just sailed on him. You see that thing? It just sailed at the end. And then I'm not sure where he was. There might have been a miscommunication on the route that Wiggins was running. So we're going to the tee is going to go right at the 25-yard line. So a 35-yarder from the right hash mark for Tanner Brown out of the hold of Dabashi. A hold is down. The kick is up. Plenty of leg. It's good. So the Cougars score on their first offensive possession of the second half. They extend the lead 24-9 over East LA. 9:32 left here in the third quarter. And we don't want to talk about it yet, but there is a big game coming up next Saturday. So
I've heard a couple things. I've looked at the schedule. I know some of our guys have been talking about it. But like you said, the focus here tonight is East LA.
Once we get to the fourth quarter, then we can start talking
about it,
right?
We'll start to talk about it.
That game next Saturday night, 6 p.m. That's one, hey, we want people to watch the live stream if you're in other parts of the country. But, man, if you're locally in town, that's a game you want to see live. That's a game you want to be a part of. Give the Cougars a home field. Junior college football is hard to get a home field. I mean, the home field, the best advantage is you use your own facilities and you don't have to travel. But the crowds, it's just tough, because you have a lot of kids that are from outside the area. But, man, next Saturday, let's show up, Cougar fans. And that's going to be the game of the year.
Absolutely.
Against Ventura right here at Cougar Stadium. So
I would say if there's one game you're going to come to, that's the one. That's the one that's been circled on everyone's calendar.
And don't tell Coach Iacena we talked about it in the third quarter, please. Tanner Brown set to kick it away. And Robinson will bring it out again at the goal line. And again, running the far sideline. This time he's got a seam up across the 30, and finally Brown knocks him out of bounds.
Tanner Brown came over, pushed him out.
And that's what Robinson was trying to do in the opening kickoff, and instead got upended at the 10-yard line by Madison. But this time Brown with the touchdown saving tackle. And Robinson already has one touchdown off a kickoff return, 100 yards. So he's not afraid to run it out from the goal line.
Good field position here for the Huskies. Let's see what they can do with it.
So 1st and 10 for the Huskies from East LA College. Tran, left side, incomplete. Well covered on the far side by Hunt. Antonio Hunt in there, the freshman out of Paraclete. And again, so deep at the defensive backs, Jesse. I mean, Hunt's a guy that at most other places could be playing 95% plays.
Absolutely. Like I said, the talent level that has been amassed on this defensive unit, can't say enough about it.
Quick throw left side, catch out of the backfield, and quickly stifled for a 2-yard gain, and that's it. So even though the completion was made, the Cougar defense over there in Spates coming from the inside, Vukobradovic from the outside, and that's just a 2-yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and 8 for East LA. Clock still running, under 9 minutes left in the third quarter. And actually, I didn't notice that, but that's Paul Herrera. That's the first time we've seen the freshman quarterback on this drive. They changed up. They play 3 quarterbacks. This is the third one, and this is the first time we've seen him tonight.
Well, we heard they would go with the hot hand.
Trying to set up the screen to the left side, and Herrera's going to go. Oh, he's going to get hit hard out of bounds. And that was Lowry.
Shadrack Lowry has brought the hat a couple times.
Bringing the pain. Now watch Herrera. He's going to – there's nothing going on there. Forced out of the pocket. And Lowry makes him pay for it, not going out of bounds.
Shadrack pumped up, heading to the sidelines. Teammates there to greet him. That's the kind of thing that Cougars are known for.
Noah McGregor was the one chasing him down. The kick away by Quintero. It's a high one, but it's a short one, and Roland's going to let that punt, or bounce, I should say, and it's going to take a Cougar bounce back outside the 25-yard line. So the Cougars will set up shop at their own 27. 7:57 left in the third quarter, and they'd love to march this down the field and put a touchdown on the board and put this thing away. Well, not away, but go a long way in putting it away. Gosh, I thought we were getting very dramatic there. I was like, what was I supposed to say? I don't know what I was supposed to say. Yes, or I don't know.
That was your cue, Barry.
That was my cue, and I obviously was not sure what I was doing. Tight end left, trips to the right for Wyatt Egan out of the shotgun. We'll see if McFadden, I think that is, McFadden is the single set back to the right now, looking at the near sideline to get the call from Ted Iacenta. Back to pass. Steps up, throws far side, and incomplete. Trying to get Eby over there. Actually, the funny thing is Wiggins was open. I don't know if you saw him there, Jesse. Wiggins was open, but trying to get it to Eby.
I think Eby just got held up on his route, wasn't able to get downfield to hook up with that ball.
In our end zone shot, you can see Wiggins had a step on his man, but Eby was well covered. So 2nd and 10 now for the Cougars. Same formation. Huskies showing blitz. They do blitz, and McFadden gets hit and dropped in the backfield. Tackle made on the play by Thomas.
Nothing doing on that one.
Loss back to the 24-yard line. It's a 3-yard loss. It'll bring up 3rd and 13, and Huskies have been effective on that blitz. And you know, Jesse, if Ventura's looking at this, seeing that the blitzes are shutting down your offense, you know what you're going to see next week.
Absolutely.
Here they come again, showing blitz on the inside, and Egan will see if they want to change the call. 3rd and 13, clock running, 7:13 left in the third.
3rd and long, but you'd like to extend this drive if possible.
Here they come. Egan's got to get out of there, throws it downfield, and catch is made. Not enough for the first down. Wiggins makes the grab at the 31. Flag is down at the 17-yard line.
In the area of a hold, but I'm not sure. Slow on the explanation.
Yeah,
there.
so we'll see. I think they're trying to find out if they want to take it or.
Sideline warning, and I think what that was some of the players getting a little bit close to the playing field a lot of excitement down there. That's something that they're constantly warned about.
So they are going to decline the penalty and bring up 4th down. So the Cougars will have to kick it away here. 7 minutes left on the clock in the 3rd quarter. Session set to receive for East LA at his own 45-yard line. Brown going to kick it away here for the Cougars.
Look for Canyons to really try and buckle down and get this punt well executed from all fronts. Starts with the snap.
Huskies looking like they're coming after it. Light pressure and a high kick by Brown. And Sessions going to let it bounce. And it's going to stop at the 25-yard line. 46-yard kick for Tanner Brown. No return and a 1st and 10 for East LA. 6:28 left now in the 3rd quarter here. Looks like we still have the first unit out there. I know obviously there's a lot of reserves coming in, but these aren't really reserves. They're always shifting into Jones is in there as well as Latu.
I was going to say you could realistically say we have a 20-man first unit with the amount of guys that are rotated in and out and all making an impact.
1st and 10 for the Huskies at their own 25. Handoff straight up the middle and some room to the 40. Cutting back, breaking a tackle. All the way to the 44-yard line is Velasco.
Looked like we had a collision with one of the officials.
And
didn't see who got him, but he went down pretty hard.
We can see it here. That official's right in the middle of your screen. And it actually was rolled over by Latu. Originally, I think it was Jones may have pushed him over. No, it's Spates, actually. Spates, and then got rolled over by Latu.
Once again, training staffs from both schools out there.
And I think that's one of those where the it's not the initial hit, it's the hit when the head hits the turf.
Sure.
Well, he's grabbing the front of his face, too, that's what I noticed.
And remember those officials, I mean, you're not talking about, even though the collision doesn't look that bad, they don't have any helmets on or they have no equipment.
That's the second time that has happened today, by the way.
Huh. Second time today?
Well, check out ESPN, their Instagram page. There's a
It wasn't here, though.
well, no, but there's a referee who was completely struck by the runner.
Wow.
And I don't think Spates is someone you want to run into no
So-
matter what the situation. I mean,
That's a big man.
So Velasco on the carry up to the 44-yard line. The net result on the play is a 1st down and a 19-yard pickup. Lowry on the tackle.
I think the official just a little shaken up. Like you said, probably took one right in the face. Then the whiplash when you fall.
Right. Even after that play, though, 31 yards net rushing. That was a 19-yard pickup, and 31 yards net rushing after that pickup for East LA. The Cougars have held East LA to 111 yards total offense.
Impressive. You know, every week I tell Coach Corbett, I said, hey, you know, I know this isn't a fantasy league, but can I pick up your team in fantasy defense?
So 1st and 10 for East LA. The Huskies going to take a start here at their 44. Velasco stays in there at running back. And again, they try Velasco, and this time no can do. And big tackle up front by Arian Peoples, I should say. Arian Peoples from Granada Hills, or Quartz Hill, I should say. Can't even read my own writing. I put QH. I thought it was GH. 6'3", 290 pounds. Just a freshman. Quads to the right side for Herrera. Now sends a man in motion and hands it off on the fly sweep to the left side. And still on his feet coming out of there. And it looked like it was going to go for a loss, but the
how did he get out of that?
breaking out of there and
kept the feet moving, was able to get those few extra crucial yards.
Velasco gets it up to the 48-yard line, so the pickup of 9 brings up a 3rd and 2, and East LA quickly to the ball. And instead of the quick snap, they're going to look to the far sideline, get the call 3rd and 2 here. Inside the Cougar territory to the 48-yard line. Keep those 3 receivers bunched up to the short side of the left side, top of your screen. And now they pulling up the hitch, and it's a 1st down and then some. Finally brought down by Latu down to the 41-yard line, and the catch made there by Presley. So the call it that RPO, that run pass option, and a lot of times it's not really an option. It's just it's a pre-designed, predetermined, I should say, where they're going to go. That time they knew they were going to throw it, but now they're lining up with the quads. Quads on the left side for Herrera. Brings his man in motion and tries to keep it himself on the quarterback keeper, and he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Tried a different formation and a different look, but wasn't fooling anybody there.
Spates and Johns in there. Caleb Johns, a freshman as well. And, you know, Jess, we talk about this team. I mean, it's not like it's a bunch of sophomore veterans. There's a lot of freshmen on this this defensive unit for the Cougars. 2nd and 11. Herrera under heavy pressure, just throws it up for grabs. Intercepted. And finally brought down at the 11-yard line, and the interception made there by Williams. Brennan Williams from Baton Rouge, a sophomore at a Christian Life High School.
Comes running off the field, some excitement there on the sidelines. I don't know if we'll see the turnover chain here, but that's something the Cougars employ. Helps keep the boys excited.
Ill-advised pass by Herrera, just chucked it up, and nice hands shown there by Williams.
Looks like he might have played some receiver along the way.
And a nice little extracurricular hit there late. You see that? Mm-hmm. So the Cougars take over 1st and 10 of their own 15. First turnover the Cougars have forced tonight. 3:49 left in the 3rd. We'll see if they want to start moving the ball on the ground here. Force Carter in there, running back. They get it to Carter, and Carter goes down immediately. He's going to lose a yard back to the 14.
Looked like East LA had seen that one before. Quick to sniff it out.
Inside 3.5 minutes now. Shotgun again for Egat. Here they're showing blitz, that's Rogers coming up right in that middle. They only have one guy in a 4-point stance. Everybody else is in a 2-point, trying to get a run on the start here. And they are coming. They pick it up, and the ball gets tipped. The catch is made up to the 25-yard line. Catch is made by Pierce. And he's going to be close to a 1st down, maybe about a half a yard shy. Blitz gets picked up in the middle. He gets rid of it right away and tipped in the air. It could have been an interception. And a great job by Pierce.
Tip ball drill, just kept his focus on it, hauled it in.
Really should have been intercepted, actually. So good job by Pierce. 3rd and about a half a yard. Again, showing blitz right up the middle.
Need to convert here.
Egat hands it off to Carter. He bobbles it, and he's still running, and he gets dragged down finally just past the 40-yard line. And bobbled the exchange, but that didn't slow down Carter at all. So the 1st down up to the 40-yard line.
Feels like a much more up-tempo pace here.
And now we've got movement on that left side. And
I mean, right when I say that.
Yeah, exactly. That was Zierer.
You know, sometimes those offensive linemen, you get excited thinking about what that next play is, what your first step's going to be.
So how many viewers do you think we have tonight in Germany? We've got the Regensburg
From Regensburg, Germany is Weinzierl. And then, of course, Zierer is from Hurenkirchen.
And don't forget Patrick Guk from Poland.
Oh, that's right, from Poland. No backs for Eget, and he's going to have to run it straight up the middle. He's going to get back near the original line of scrimmage up to the 39. Maybe got 3 or 4 there. But, again, the Huskies figure their only chance here is bringing the house, and they have. Carter comes back in as
it's definitely produced some results for him. Forced Canyons into a couple of quick throws, some tip balls. If those things go the other way, it's going to be trouble for Canyons.
So 2nd and 11 now. Carter in there for Henderson, who got a play. Showing blitz, they're coming again, and Eget throws it behind DeShazer, and he's not able to grab it. So the incomplete pass sets up 3rd and now long. About 12 yards to go. That just behind DeShazer. He was open. Would have been short of the first down, but still should have been able to complete that. Stop clock, 1:08 left here in the 3rd.
Pressure seems to be coming primarily up the middle. You'd like to see him maybe roll out, get some extra room for Eget. Throw that off a little bit.
Eby coming to the near side.
They're walking up that linebacker right under the
5 seconds.
mid-tackle.
Got to snap this. They do. Back to pass. Here comes the blitz again. Eget wants it all. Going deep. Incomplete. Try to get it to Brandon Pierce at the 10-yard line and well covered. So the Cougars are going to have to kick it away again.
For as fast as Pierce is, that DB was step for step with him. That was a good play. Tanner Brown back out there. They keep him busy every night, I'll tell you that.
So Brown's going to kick it away. Session back to receive at his own 30-yard line. Here comes the rush, and Brown gets it away, and it's a good high kick. Fair catch is called for and made by Session at the 26-yard line. 35-yard kick and no return for Session. So just under a minute left to play in the 3rd quarter. Cougars holding on to a 24-9 lead, the number 2 team in the state of California. Looking strong here against East LA, a team we don't normally see. Their first go-round in several decades, matter of fact, Jesse, in the National Conference.
First matchup with Canyon since 2011. Cougars 4-0 all-time against East LA. You know, that history doesn't mean a whole lot.
Velasco straight up the middle, and he's going to get about 6 yards up to the 31-yard line. Back in the game for the first time in the second half, Miguel Aguirre from Schur High School. He got the nod on the start, did the first 2 drives, and we haven't seen him since then. So we have seen all 3 quarterbacks. Now we're back to the first one we saw.
And East LA came here. They had to have had a bit of confidence after the big win against Long Beach last week. I'm sure looking to upset us.
Aguirre with a pitch to Velasco, and he's going to get the first down, still on his feet to the 41-yard line.
Slipped through a couple tackles, kept his feet moving.
Yeah, Lowry gave him a shoulder, but it didn't knock him down. Lowry comes up and knocks him there, and he's still on his feet, and finally
You know, that's what a running backs coach will preach. Keep your feet moving, make them take you down all the way to the ground. Got those extra crucial yards. Final ticks here of the 3rd quarter.
So that is going to end the 3rd quarter. So the clock expires to end the 3rd quarter. I want to thank our sponsors here. AV Equipment Rental. AV Equipment Rentals has been around in the Santa Cruz Valley for decades, and I'll tell you what, I don't care whether you're a contractor or whether you're just a homeowner. If you've got something to do, if you got a do-it-yourself project or you've got a huge project, AV Equipment Rental is a right tool to do the job right on Railroad Avenue. Don't forget they got propane for your barbecue, no minimum quantities to buy. Also, Consumers Furniture. Consumers Furniture located in the Centerpoint Shopping Center. A big anniversary sale going on this weekend. 39 years serving the Santa Cruz Valley. The Moser family, locally owned and operated in the Centerpoint Shopping Center, located
just down the way from Sam's Club. And Consumer Furniture, the largest leather gallery in the entire Santa Cruz Valley. Salt Creek Grill, the best Sunday brunch in town, and the best place to get bacon wrapped filet steaks, man. I'll tell you what, they got Burger Tuesday, Tap Out Tuesdays. Burgers are phenomenal, $9.95 all day long. Absolutely fantastic. Salt Creek Grill of Valencia Town Center. Chick-fil-A of Valencia Town Center now open till 11 o'clock Monday through Saturday. And also want to thank our friends Vista Candy, the brand new development in the east side of town, and Greg Kincaid and the entire crew at Sage Staffing. Pretty much helping you out for all your temporary staffing services, Sage Staffing. So here we go. Get underway in the fourth quarter. Handoff Velasco right up the middle, and he's got some room again. Breaking another tackle. Finally brought down near the first down inside Cougar territory at the 49-yard line. It was Spates who finally brought him down, but I tell you what, this is a shifty little guy.
Yeah, he's emerged out of a couple of piles when I thought for sure he was down. Look up 5-6 yards later. Then the Cougars got him.
Taylor had him, but he got out of the grasp of Taylor Velasco. 5 rushes for 40 yards. So they're going to say he's shy of the first down, 2.5 a yard. Aguero's going to attempt his first throw tonight, and it's going to be incomplete. And, boy, he left his receiver out to dry there. Big defense.
You see that swarm of blue and yellow right
coming over.
him.
That was Taylor on the defense, but man, that's what they call those hospital balls right across the middle. So 3rd down, 1/2 a yard. That's usually that throwaway down that's 2.5 a yard. But yeah, I think that was actually Aguero's first passing attempt tonight. So he's 0 for 1. And the pass, it's his first completion of the night, and it's going to be enough for the first down. Mangaya gets it up near the 41-yard line, so the drive continues.
Changed it up a little bit. I'm sure the Cougars were looking for run on 3rd and 1, but found it over the middle. Either way, it works. First down, Huskies.
Velasco getting a rest, and now Chandler coming back in at running back for the Huskies. Aguero still in at quarterback. Spread formation, 1st and 10 for East LA at the 41 of the Cougars. 13:45 left in the game. And now we've got movement in the interior line. It's going to come back 5 yards. So the false start's going to put it back out outside of the 45-yard line.
Another important drive here for the Cougar defense. I mean, 15-point lead. You don't want to let them get any bit closer. They've had some success in the run game here this last drive. Want to try and shut them down here.
So 2nd now and 15. Chandler now back in motion, and they're throwing the bubble screen to the left side, and it's going to be sniffed out well, and the Cougars are going to stop him for about a loss. He may have gone back to the line of scrimmage, depending upon where they give him the forward progress. Completion was there to Reeves.
Reeves caught the ball and didn't have much space. 5, 6, 7 Cougars there, all ready to pounce.
Cougars ready to pounce. I like that. That's good. You been practicing that, by the way?
You know what? I've been saving that one.
Okay. Well, you wasted it on a no gain. I mean, next time you get a tackle for loss or something.
Hey, I'm still a rookie.
Back to pass. Throw, a high throw and complete down to the 36-yard line. And that ball seemed like it was in the air for about an hour and a half.
I feel like the refs missed a hold call there. Latu had at least 2 guys on him. Halted his progress to the quarterback.
See Latu on your left hand right there, the screen right there. And it's going to set up 3rd and about 2 here. They need to get down to the 31. Clock still running, just coming up on 12 minutes left in the game. Chandler, the single setback, now move and shift to the right side. They hand it to him, and no, actually they pull it out and throw it, and the RPO, and it's enough for the first down to the 30-yard line. The Catch down to Sessions and making the reception. And we do have a flag on the near side, so hold everything. The linesman on the near sideline threw the flag.
Well, I bid on the fake and was watching Morrison.
I thought Morrison had him for a loss as well. So we'll see what the penalty is here.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5 minutes lined up in the offensive backfield. 5 yards for biggest spot enforcement. 3rd down. We'll make it a bit more challenging for the Huskies.
So there you go. This one comes back out down to the 38-yard line. So they got to get to the 31. So 3rd and 7. By the way, Jesse, we talk about that game next week against Ventura. Ventura is taking care of business tonight, 55-0, beating Moore Park at halftime.
Yeah, I mean they're a tough program. There's no doubt about it.
That is going to be an epic matchup here next Saturday night. So under 12 minutes now to 3rd and long, and they go deep the end zone. It's incomplete. Well covered there by the Cougars. Coming over again, and tell you what, Khalid Taylor has had a heck of a ball game. He's been everywhere tonight.
Going back to that Ventura matchup, Cougars on a 11-game win streak. Last loss was actually week 6 of the 2017 season at Ventura. That was a Thursday night SCFA game. Close contest, closer than the box score might have shown. Ventura got up early on a couple scores. Cougars definitely be looking to change that next week.
So East LA is going to go for it. 4th and 7 here. Cougars looking like they're going in a standard defense, and now rolling to his left. Aguirre throwing downfield. Catch is made, and it's going to be enough for a 1st down. Well covered, but a perfect throw on the near sideline. The catch made by Jolly, Jalen Jolly from Pasadena High School, the 5'10 freshman. And they move the chains, and a nice pickup.
New set of downs, getting close to the red zone. You got to feel like this is going to be 4-down territory for the Huskies. I don't think they're going to be settling for 3 here.
That's a deep out. That's a tough cover. If you throw it, time it right in Aguirre, man, that was a good throw. So a new set of downs for the Huskies at the Cougar 28-yard line. Aguirre steps up in the pocket. Throws it downfield, and should have been intercepted. And I thought that Taylor, in fact, Taylor thought he had a pick 6 on that. And we've been talking about Khalid Taylor, and he's had a fantastic game. And look at that one, boy.
That had 6 written all over it.
Stepping right in front. And look at him close. That is, that's just great speed and great closing speed. And Taylor thought he had the first pick of the game for the Cougar defense. So the incomplete pass sets up a 2nd and 10. Back to pass Aguirre. He wants it all. Going to the corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Overthrew his intended receiver, Session. And again, Taylor was over there also. Running that quarterback spot. I think that's Roland over there running in the playing the left cornerback spot. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 after the 2 deep or the 2 incompletions.
And again, be interesting to see how ELAC handles these next 2 downs. Got to get in the end zone. Force the issue here. They try and get it half or go for it all.
Clock stopped, 11:04 left in the game. And now confusion on the offense, and timeout called by Coach Godinez, and the Huskies are going to talk things over.
Definitely want to think about it, make sure they get the right play call here.
You can follow SoCal College Sports on Facebook and Twitter at facebook.com/SoCal Sports, SoCal College Sports 1, and then on Twitter at SoCal College Spo, and then of course right here on YouTube at SoCal College Sports 1. We of course will be back on the air live streaming next Saturday night's game against Ventura. That'll be for the lead in the Northern Conference of the National. Is it Northern Conference? It's Northern, right?
National Division.
National Division.
Northern League, yes, sir.
Okay. And I mean, for all intents and purposes, that is this is going to be for the conference championship. Of course, you still got Long Beach and Bakersfield to play, but this is the game, and this is the one that everybody has circled.
You never want to count out any of the other teams, but last year it came down to Ventura Canyons, and I think that's been the feeling around the state, that it would come down to those two teams again.
And remember, one team will get an at-large berth, so even if you lose that game, you're not totally knocked out of the playoffs.
Absolutely. That was the situation with Canyons a year ago. Just missed out on that last spot.
Oh, now double pass here. Watch this. Sessions going to throw it deep into the end zone. It's might be intercepted. Is it? It is. Actually, no. That is Wheeler. Madison Wheeler with the interception, and you see Wheeler there in the safety position. Read that well, didn't bite.
Apologies to Mr. Wheeler. I saw the 7, and we had been talking about Taylor so much.
And a nice catch going up on that. And Madison Wheeler gets the pick. Wheeler from La Habra High School, just a freshman, 5'10", a 190-pounder. And again, you know, we talk about these, Wheeler, a guy that is not a starter, but you watch him continue to grow and getting reps here, and just a freshman. He's a guy that is can continue to contribute this year and then obviously next year as well.
Runs off the field and rewarded, gets the turnover chain draped around him.
Inside a handoff. You think you're going to get a heavy dose of running the ball here for the Cougars. Keep that clock running as we're coming up on 10:45. That was McFadden running the ball there.
Absolutely. And that was
Miles Anderson, my bad.
That was kind of the game plan last week against Moore Park. You saw that fourth quarter. Cougars really just, ran it out and managed to get another touchdown while they were at it. So we'll see if the same fate holds true.
So you got to believe the Cougars are going to try to milk as much time off the clock between plays here as they can. Again, Anderson straightforward. I don't even think he got back the line of scrimmage. May have lost a yard there.
The other thing, if you are able to get another touchdown here, what that does allows you to maybe sub in some of your backups, get them those important reps. Heading down to the home stretch of the season, you want to make sure everyone's got as much experience as they can. You never know what the situation might dictate and who's going to be out there for you.
Egan on 3rd and long, catches made and a first down. Eby, that's the first time we've called his name tonight. And his first reception for, that is his 3rd reception for Elijah Eby. And Eby gets the first down. And he's a tough one on, that slant. Get that big body in front there. He's tough to cover. So 1st and 10, new set of downs for the Cougars. Egan's going to send 3 receivers to the right side. Now they'll kill the play. Back to pass, got a ton of time. Wants it all, goes deep. He's got Pierce wide open, gone. Brandon Pierce. Look at how fast he is.
Just like that.
He still thinks he can beat Marquise Brown.
Well, that's a tall order. I don't know about that, but that young man is certainly a speedster.
Okay, that is the 2nd long touchdown of the night.
And the over-the-shoulder catch.
67 yards on this one, 68 on the one earlier. And both of these throws were hit Pierce in the stride. I mean, he didn't have to move at all. That one just right over the shoulder. That's the old breadbasket catch there.
I have a feeling that's going to be on his huddle highlight here come Monday, so you can look for that.
Then he has the 100-meter finish leaning at the tape right there.
And look at his teammates running down there to congratulate him. That excitement is just infectious here.
Tanner Brown kicks the point after, up and good. So the Cougars on another long touchdown play, this time 67 yards, hitting Brandon Pierce again. And the Cougars go up 31-9 with 9:08 left in the game.
This is the exact situation the Cougars want to find themselves in. You're up, you're in control, it's late in the game. You can kind of dictate the pace here the rest of the way out. Maybe get an opportunity to get some other guys some playing time.
You got to believe that's probably going to do it for Wyatt Egat. 20. Listen to this: 22 of 36, very efficient, 314 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did have the 1 interception on the screen that was tipped in the air, but also running the ball. Egat 7 carries, 13 yards, and don't forget that is included in the 2 sacks. So he had more positive yards than that. Still had and also had the 1 touchdown. So
he's been impressive. I mean, when you consider the circumstances that he entered and got his first start in, then to come in right into conference play, you know, Cougars obviously won both of those games by a large margin, but these are still tough opponents.
And it's easy to say, hey, you know, got a guy in front of me that I know is going to be playing, and I can just take it easy and not be ready. And he definitely showed up these last couple games, and tonight has the 3 long touchdown passes. Brown with a high kick, and you know Robinson's going to take this one out. We've seen this movie before. Robinson straight up the middle, and he tie steps it at the 25. He's going to get corralled in there. So exactly 9 minutes left in the game. Cougars up 31-9. It is the 4th quarter, and Jesse, we can start talking about the game next Saturday night. It's an 6 o'clock start, and it's right here at Cougar Stadium again. We really want to urge people out there that are listening or watching or if you're in the area. Of course, we'd love to have you join us on SoCalCollegeSports.com. But man, we would love to have you here in the stadium as well.
Absolutely, and a special promotion next week. Fans attending in a Halloween costume will be admitted free to the game. That's
seriously
something we've done the last couple of years. It's our closest game to Halloween, so something fun for the fans, and hopefully you'll find time to come out.
They run the fly sweep to the near side, and a nifty little move at the 31. Finally brought down by Spates. And that was Jolly again on the carry. And he'll be happy with those 8 yards.
Absolutely.
See what I did there?
The jolly and happy. Yeah. Well, you had to compete with the Cougar pounce.
I did, yeah, that pounce thing. That was that. I had to step my game up a little bit. 2nd and short here from their own 34-yard line. The Huskies taking a lot of time. Hand off the right side, stoned at the 35-yard line, and maybe a gain of 1, and that's about it. And that's Tariq Spates again. So 3rd, and they're about 1 yard. They got to get up to the 36-yard line. It's right at the 35. Under 8 minutes to play. Aguirre handoff to Velasquez, and he's not going to get it. The Cougars defense again pouncing at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to set up a 4th and 1. That's one of those tackles. It's by the team. That's a team tackle. I think there were 9 blue shirts on Velasco after he carried it.
Swarm to the ball. That's one of the key factors of this defense. If the first guy doesn't get there, like I said, the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th will.
Big 4th down play here. 4th and 1. Cougars looking to play base defense here with 3 down linemen, no linebackers, showing they're coming up. And the quick throw, the catch is made at the 40-yard line. And I think that was Williams on the coverage, but not before the Huskies get a first down to the 40-yard line.
Going to prolong the drive here a little bit, but Cougar defense still looks fierce.
James Dunn with the catch there from Muir High School, a sophomore. 1st and 10 now for the Huskies. 6:44 and counting left in the game. Aguero flush from the pocket, throwing on the run, and is it intercepted? I think it is. And a Cougar interception, and it's Jones. Khalid Jones, you tried to give him an interception earlier, Jesse. This time he got it.
Khalid Taylor,
Look at that. Oh, Taylor. Did I say Jones? I'm sorry. That was Taylor.
He heard me up in the booth, I think, and got one for himself.
What a great catch. Look at him stretch back for that. Now watch the read here at his cornerback position, and goes over there, and, man, he just outstretched there, and just a fantastic catch.
He's going to have fun watching that on tape next week.
It's intended for Valdivia. But that was one of those where the quarterback just thinks, hey, my guy's the only one with a chance to get it. We do have a flag on the field, and they had too many men on the field.
I think it was Mike.
Wilson was in, and so was Egan. It was a 2-quarterback formation.
They both wanted to play. Egan wasn't ready to come out yet. Wilson was excited to get in there.
Egan didn't know Wilson was going in for him, So the 5-yard penalty brings it back to the 44-yard line, and the Cougars will start there. Michael Wilson, first look at him tonight.
Getting some valuable snaps here. We'll see how he handles these last 2 possessions.
Wilson throws the bubble screen to the left side and just overthrew his intended receiver. Intended for Eby on the far side. Wilson out of Freedom High School in Virginia, Woodbridge, Virginia. He is a freshman. And 6'2", 192 pounds.
Had a touchdown run last week late in the game. Played well. Of course, we were in kind of a run-first mode at that point. But
it's only his 4th pass attempt on the season. And I think the Cougars wanted a timeout. So the Cougars do get a timeout. So this gives an opportunity to talk about some of our sponsors and tell you who helps out Cougar football. Want to thank our friends at Salt Creek Grill, the best Sunday brunch in town, located in the Valencia Town Center. Is it loud or is it just me? I feel like I should be, it's those what are they, trailer, like the man barely alive. That's too much pressure for me. Salt Creek Grill in the Valencia Town Center. Again, great Sunday brunch, great steaks, great place for fine dining. 20 years here in the Santa Clarita Valley. Consumers Furniture, 39 years here in Santa Clarita. Equipment, AV Equipment Rentals, hundreds of years. I don't even know how long they've been around, decades and decades. And then Chick-fil-A in the Valencia Town Center. Vista Canyon, new development on the east side of town. And, of course, our friends at Sage Staffing. Thanks so much for stepping up and supporting COC Cougar football here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Gosh, I'm ready to storm the gates right now. Freedom! All right, Jesse, you're on. I'm done.
That took it all out of you.
It took everything out of me. It was extremely dramatic for a 22-point lead in the 4th quarter. 6:32 left. Wilson out of the shotgun and bobbles the snap. This is going to be a free play as the Huskies jumped off sides.
Looks like a flag on the field.
Yeah, I think that was Collins jumping across the line of scrimmage a little bit too early. So let's talk about this rivalry between Ventura, and this is a fairly new rivalry. I mean, in the old days, it was always Allen and Hancock, but next week they have Ventura again. But the last couple of years, this has been. There's no love lost between these two teams, right?
No, absolutely not. I mean, again, 2 well-coached programs, similar recruiting bases. You got players that know each other. They've either played against each other previously in high school, or they've heard about each other, their exploits. Again, Cougars looking for some revenge.
By the way, nice run for McFadden for the first down.
Lost out last year. Cost us a trip to the playoffs. But, a new team, new set of guys. Cougars looking to rectify that. I can't say it enough. This is going to be the showdown of the year. And
yeah, when you have the 2-year program, the freshman, sophomore, you don't have a lot of those carryovers, like the revenge game, so to speak. As the Huskies showing blitz, McFadden dropped in the backfield. But there are still a large number of these players that remember that game, and they can all you got to do is watch the film from last year, and
and it was a disappointing loss, and it did knock them out of the state playoffs. The Cougars still thought they should have gone, but unfortunately did not. And I think I think the showing by Saddleback proved that the Cougars were right on that aspect. 6-yard loss back for McFadden on that one, coming up on 5 minutes left in the game. East LA again up at the line, but. What are we going to see? What do we expect to see from Ventura? Is it the same old Pirates, or are we going to see something new wrinkles, or what do we expect to see next week, Jesse?
You know, tough to say. I think it'll be each team's going to look to get into their strengths, execute what they do well. You know, a hard-fought game. It could come down to turnovers. It could come down to who executes the big plays. Either way, it's going to be fun to watch.
Jeremy Lubin getting the catch there on the bubble screen, sophomore from Hollywood, Florida. Of course, same town as Marquise Brown.
Marquise Brown doing big things at Oklahoma. Excited to see him every Saturday.
3rd and 13. The Sooners took care of business today. I think they put up, 52 points against TCU?
I'm sure he played a large role in that.
And the throw across the right side, incomplete.
You know, Barry, one thing that might be a little bit different this year, Ventura's found greater success with their run game as compared to years past. So, again, with this top defense coming in on the Canyon side, Ventura doing the things that they do, I'll say it again, it's going to be a showdown.
Ventura, again, still taking care of business tonight. We mentioned that halftime score, I think was the last score we saw, Jesse, 55-0. And then they lost that heartbreak game to Fullerton. Fair catch called for, and actually this is going to bounce. Let's see, it's going to go out of bounds at the 7-yard line. But you know, they barely beat Orange Coast, so OCC. They handled Saddleback pretty good. Then, this was a surprise. They just edged Allen Hancock with a 29-28 win. They handled Palomar, which is down this year, definitely down, but that was only by 7 points. But then Fullerton, they gave away the game at the end. That was a heartbreaker for them. And then took care of business at Bakersfield last week. And then, they're running it up on Moore Park, 55-0. And we're just saying Moore Park was they're reeling from when the Cougars took them on 10 days ago, right? Still sore from that game. But nonetheless, that is going to be a game, probably a matchup of, 2 versus 4, 2 versus 5, something like that. And go ahead.
I was going to say, you look back to last year, we suffered the loss, but you try and take a positive from that. I think it gave all the guys some extra fire, not only to end the season last year, of course, went on that run, won the bowl game, but coming in the spring, the summer, even the early parts of the fall, you have that extra desire because you have that opponent in your conference that you want to knock off and you want to show what Canyons is all about.
That game is 6 p.m. next Saturday night here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Thrown off the back foot, incomplete, as that is Herrera back in at quarterback. But, we do want to urge you, again, that if you are in the area, as much as we love you watching us on the live stream, is come on down and support your team. That game last year, Jesse, it was 45-30, and the score was closer than the game was closer than the score indicated. And I think a lot of that the Cougars thought the fact that even though the game was closer, but the fact they lost by 15, that hurt them too, because it looked like when everybody looks at 45-30, the 15-point game, you blew them out.
Well, and I was actually at that game. An interesting dynamic. It was a Thursday night game under the lights, the first time we had played in a Thursday night game. We go down there, couple early turnovers, Ventura gets ahead. That's a program you don't want to be playing from behind. So, obviously Cougars battled back, just weren't able to get those extra 15 points, but nothing to hang their head about. It was a hard-fought game on both sides.
21-3 after the first quarter. Then the Cougars did come back, and it was 28-17 at the half. And the punt
is going to go out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So 2:25 left in the game, and this is an opportunity to get a lot of the reserves in here. And it's so funny. You look at the reserves. Look at that offensive line. I mean, there's a lot of big dudes that you see those guys gathering around the 40-yard line. Those are all 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". This is a junior college team. This is not, UCLA or something like that. But look at the big boys up there. You've got Murphy in there from Texas, Nacogdoches, Texas. He is a sophomore, 6'4", 340. Got Zero there. We've already talked about him, 6'7", 250, a freshman.
Brandon Manna, 6'4", 325 from Knoxville, Tennessee. Had a chance to play last week.
Oh, high snap. Wilson's going to gather it all the way back to the 16-yard line. And you know what you hate about that is that counts as a run to the quarterback.
That's going to mess up his stats a little bit.
He's like, come on.
Going back to last year's Ventura game, again, that was the last loss Canyons has suffered. That was more than a year ago. We're now on an 11-game win streak. Setting up perfectly with the execution here tonight, setting up for Week 8. I can't say it enough, folks. Get your family-friendly Halloween costume and come on down and enjoy some community college football.
The COC defense and the late handoff straight up the middle. Lots of room. Back up near the 34-yard line. And the watching here, this is Manny Thomas. Thomas from Quartz Hill, and he's showing what he's got there. But, the Cougar defense gave up 548 yards in total offense. I don't want to make predictions, but I would be absolutely floored if this defense gave up 548 yards offense next Saturday night.
I would definitely take the under on that, and that's not to say anything bad about our defense from last year. We had some big names, kids that went on to play at the next level. So definitely a solid front last year. This year's defense is special.
440 of that was through the air.
It was an exciting game, I'm telling you. Anytime you have the opportunity to play under the lights on a Thursday, everyone's eyes on that game. Cougars came out on the wrong side, but looking to change that for next week.
So this is pretty much going to do it for the Cougars. Let's see. They actually have to snap the ball one more time. They're going to probably take the delay penalty here for put about 3 seconds left on the clock. These are one of those. It's like in match play in golf. You just go concede the hole. Let's just go. So the clock stopped with 4 seconds left. And here's the thing is Jesse, is this, this score ends up 31-9. But there were, and yes, it's a win, and there were some really good things. I mean, you've got the 67-yard, the 68-yard touchdown, Brandon Pierce just flying, and Wyatt Egan hitting him in stride. But you've also got right in the middle there was some, the 3 consecutive turnovers. There was some sloppy play in there that that Cougars really want to shore up, especially before next week.
And I think that's
Tanner Brown is going to run this. I don't know if Ted Isena knows about this, but and then what is he doing? Come on, that's your kicker. Don't do that.
He took a big hit there, but showing the toughness. That's a Saugus kid out there, so you'd only expect that from him.
Well, yeah, but once you get your kicker hurt before the most important regular season game of the year.
Going back to your point, though, I agree. There's some miscues, some things that they're going to want to clean up, and I'm sure Coach Isena is going to talk to him about that.
Here's Coach Isena is talking to him right now, as a matter of fact.
He let him know what he thought about that.
So there was a flag on the play. Obviously, they're going to pick it up. So that is it. And I don't know if Coach Isena is more mad that he actually ran the ball or that he put his head down. All right, so can we thank our sponsors real quick? So we want to thank our sponsors, AV Equipment Rental. AV Equipment Rentals, don't forget they got propane for your barbecue. No minimum quantities to buy. Also, Consumers Furniture, 39 years in the Santa Cruz Valley and locally owned and operated. And then, of course, Salt Creek Grill, the best Sunday brunch in town. Chick-fil-A now open till 11 o'clock Monday through Saturday in the Valencia Town Center. I want to thank Vista Canyon, the incredible new development over on the east side of town, and, of course, Greg Kincaid and the entire staff over at Sage Staffing for your temporary staffing needs. So thanks to all of our sponsors. Make sure you support them. All right, Jesse, so 31-9 is the final, but the game is, we can talk about it now. It is next Saturday night here at Cougar Stadium, College of the Canyons. It is for the Northern Conference National Division lead. It's not the championship, obviously, but this is the game that everybody's been circled the last time the Cougars lost, and they're going to have the Pirates here at home. Let's get everybody out here. Let's talk about how great that game is going to be.
Again, I mean, these are the two marquee teams in the state, two marquee teams in the area, a rivalry. You know, I've heard people call it the rivalry of the 126. Yeah, can't say enough about it. Come down here, get here early, be loud, be proud. Cougars are going to need that support. This is a team that has bigger goals in mind than a conference title, but you got to take the first step, and that starts.
That's right. Starts next Saturday. It's a big, big step. So it is 6 o'clock is the kickoff here at Cougar Stadium. Ventura College versus the College of the Canyons Cougars. It'll probably be number 2 versus number 4, maybe number 5, but it's going to be 2 top 5 teams in the state of California, and it's right here in Santa Cruz. If you are local, get to that game. Otherwise, circle it on your calendar, put it in your smartphone. Join us here next Saturday night at SoCalCollegeSports.com, the live stream. Jesse, fantastic job. We'll see you next week. Appreciate it, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, for Jesse Munoz and, of course, my good friend Emery Johnson, who did the directing tonight, and our camera operators. Great job, gentlemen. Thanks so much for tuning in, and thanks for watching tonight's broadcast. Again, the Cougars walk away with a 31-9 win over the East LA College Huskies and remain undefeated at 7-0. Ventura next Saturday night, 6 o'clock, right here at Cougar Stadium. Good night.